PUDcast is filmed before a live studio audience.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the PUDcast with Jason and Mike. I'm Jason.
And I'm Mike.
And we're coming to you from the PUDcave, located here in game-swapping, beautiful downtown Lincolnton in the great state of North Carolina. Mikey, brother, what is going on?
It is dreary. It is a dreary, miserable weekend.
It is a shitty Sunday morning, brother. Outside, anyway.
Yeah.
Outside,
Yeah.
man. Man, my allergies.
Yesterday wasn't any better.
Oh, dude, you got a little slight Tales from the Swamp. Yeah, we'll maybe get to that.
Yeah, we might.
And I got to get a little disclaimer out, man. I've had allergies for the last couple of days. My throat's been sore, so I may be cracking up a little bit here. So if you hear me go like that, just a little forewarning there, Mike.
All right.
Maybe doing a lot of hacking and shit like that. So just a little heads up, man.
Need some cough drops.
Easy. Easy now, easy. Shit.
Got him.
See, Papa Jack, this is the shit we do right here, brother.
Yeah. You got it, man.
So, man, I guess we ought to introduce our guest, Mike, brother.
I think we should.
I think I just spoiled it a little bit. For anybody who didn't read the title.
Spoiler alert.
We have a guest, Mike Payne, brother. We have a hell of a guest.
Absolutely.
Because today, man, we're going to be talking about the old school band scene here in Lincolnton, man.
Yeah.
Something I know all three of us in this room can relate to. And we got a man in the studio today, brother, who is on that front line.
Yes, sir.
Who's still on that front line.
Yeah.
Who, in my opinion, Mike, Sherrill, Papa Jack, brother, you're doing the Lord's work. I say it every week.
Thanks, man. Appreciate it.
Yes, because we have the host of W.T.A.U. Pea Ridge Nation radio show right here, Papa Jack, Mike Sherrill, brother. Thank you so much for being here, man.
Man. Hey, guys. All right, man. Hey, guys, it's an honor to be here. First of all,
Thank you.
very much of an honor to be here. And second of all, you guys do this shit early, man.
Yeah, we do.
I'm not done puking till 10, you know. Well, to be honest, I haven't puked in a very long time.
Hey.
Well, we'll see if we can fix that today.
Knock on wood. Let's hope we don't.
We can definitely fix that.
Oh, yeah, you might be before the end of the show, brother.
You want to see Jason puke right now?
Don't.
No, you can blame Jason for the earliness.
This is on me, brother.
This is on me. Early. And we've talked about this at times. I would love to do this. The podcast after hours,
Which we still may,
Yeah.
we still may look into that. Man, I'm such an early riser.
Well, it's good for your health.
and he's
I guess.
and
We'll
he's
go
an
with
early-
that. We'll go with that.
He's an early dozer too.
He's-
Yeah,
early dozer,
brother.
yeah.
I mean, I'm talking like, elderly level here. Well, the sun's almost down.
Yeah.
Dude,
So his son ever gonna go down? Then he go to bed.
y'all, man, sometimes I have to go to sleep with my sunglasses on. I mean,
Yeah.
I got to start breaking that habit, man. I was thinking about that shit last night because I went to bed once again. Well, I went actually around 9 last night, dude. It was a wild
What?
Saturday, dude.
Yeah,
I know,
9
man.
o'clock on
Gee.
a Saturday night.
Well, I got to get my coffee at
Yeah.
Hardee's, man. At 4:30 a.m. But nah, man, I do have to take complete responsibility. I am an early riser, and I'm like, well, Mike, we can do this thing about 8:30, 9 o'clock. I was like, oh fuck. And dude, and like even we do that conspiracy theory show with the Reverend Doctor. Same way, man. I know he has to struggle a little bit to get up here, But
But that's with me. I'll get up at 7,
right,
8, pushing on the weekends.
right.
But I won't go to bed until like 2, 3 o'clock in the morning.
See, brother, I haven't done that shit. Sometimes I wake up at
It's
like 3 in the
daily.
morning.
You get older, and you
Yeah.
get older, and you start waking up all different times.
it does,
It's
I know when I was younger, everybody was like, oh, you'll start waking up at like 5 or 6. I'm like, bullshit. Now I'm like, well, it's more like 4:45. But I am one of those people, man. I like to get up and get on it. I like to get stuff going because, hey, the way I look at it, the earlier we do the podcast, the earlier the PUDs get to hear it.
That's right.
Hey,
There
man.
you
Hey,
go.
no, there
Of course, we
you
can do
you
it
know.
Saturday nights. I mean,
Oh,
I'm just
shit.
saying.
Damn it, Mikey.
That's even earlier.
You done throw a monkey wrench into that shit. Oh, we could do it the night before, motherfucker.
Oh yeah.
Well, Mike, man, any tales from the swap you want to go into this week before we get into today's subject?
Well, I know I was talking to you about, just being pissed off about yesterday and everything that happened with the events. I don't want to get into that too much.
Sure, right.
Just because that's negative. I don't want to deal with that.
We try to stay positive here on the podcast.
Try to. Yeah.
Just
Unless it's negative funny.
Yeah.
Yeah.
just don't call Mike a moron.
No,
Yeah.
Mike will pull your ass
Don't-
outside and beat
Yeah.
the shit.
I heard that last week.
Oh man.
Yeah, the podcast last week. And you know what, man? And you being here dealing, I mean, like you said, most of your customers
Oh yeah.
really great.
Yeah,
You know,
absolutely.
great, man. But you got some assholes every once in a while come in.
Yep.
And yeah, I think I would have released Kraken on that dude. Man. Yeah.
Well, it's like we talked about last week. I don't know why people think that they should get discounts or special treatment just because you're a local business. It's almost, I think it's the flea market mentality. I really do. I
Yeah.
think that they
Yeah,
see
for
any
sure.
local
Yeah,
business
for sure.
as a negotiation.
Yeah.
You want to try that shit at Walmart, And I don't think they understand that by you even competing with Walmart having the same price, that's so much more money out of your pocket than it is theirs
For
because you
sure.
can't buy 1 million copies of a
Right,
video game
exactly.
for $10
Yeah.
a piece and
Yeah.
sell them for 50.
Right,
You can't
right,
do that.
yeah,
Exactly.
But there's people, man, who think they should have that. And, it's like you want to beat the shit out of them on one hand, and I get that. But there's another part of me who would just like to take them and quote unquote shake them a little bit and be
shake-
like, listen,
Yeah.
this is why.
Well, once
you know?
once that goes away, you can't. This person doesn't get it.
Right.
And at that point, it's just like, you know what, fuck you.
Just
Yeah.
kind of, yeah. So go
Yeah.
with point A or option A, just to go beat the
Yeah,
shit out.
exactly. Yeah, all right.
Reasoning's done, man. We
Yeah.
cannot reason with this person, so we're
Yeah.
just going to put you
They
down.
don't get it. They don't get it. But no, something funny happened yesterday, and I felt bad about it because it was a long day.
Right.
It was a really long day.
'Cause they had
I'd
the-
been up anyway the night before watching the Joe Bob Briggs stuff all night. And I'm
Mangled
I'm-
dicks.
Mangled dick expert. Because I was watching that Werewolf Cop
Yeah, right.
that had the dick transformation in it. So that's another story.
Yeah. We'll talk
yeah.
about that at some other
So
point.
it is a long day, man. It was a long day, and there's another reason it was a long day. We won't get into that.
Yeah.
But this girl comes in. I think she was 17, something like that.
Okay.
And she was a nice kid, a really nice kid, and she talked for probably about 30 minutes, 45 minutes, something like that.
Right.
Just talking. Right. And I don't know if you guys are familiar with ASMR.
What exactly is that, Mike?
ASMR, I can't remember the acronym for it. We're offhand. Audio sensory meridian response, something like that.
Right.
To where somebody's a sound or a voice or anything like that gives you this calming,
Okay.
almost hypnotic, just
Calming, chilling out type. Okay.
Almost
Calming
like-
you down.
Sometimes you get tingles from it.
Okay.
Sometimes it just relaxes you to a point.
Right.
I fell asleep 3 times during this conversation. I kid you not. I nodded off 3 times during this conversation. I felt bad because I'd wake up.
She would still be talking.
I wasn't sure where in the conversation we were at. Shit, I
And she
did.
kept going, and she just kept
She
going.
was still going. She was still going. But that was the thing. Is, like she was talking, and she had such that soothing voice that I was just like, oh, okay.
Just you listen to her read the dictionary.
I'm going out, man. I'm going out. Oh, I'm back. Okay, I'm back. Okay.
Where were we? Where were we?
Here we are. But the saving point for that was that she wasn't talking to me, making eye contact.
Right.
So it
Oh,
was
so you
like,
could doze a little bit.
I was just
I had an instructor in college like that. I had a evening course, and it was the New Testament. Actually, I took a New Testament course. Didn't learn anything.
Right.
But anyway, this guy, man, he was the same way. He had a very calm monotone, almost like Bueller. Bueller, yes. Yeah. And it was the worst class to take at the worst time. And I mean, everybody. And I was very interested, obviously, in the subject, and I was, a fairly decent student, so I wanted to pay attention. But, brother, I know what you're saying. I mean, I would literally, everybody in there. I remember one night, he was like, how come no one ever talks in this class? Everybody woke up. What?
Yeah.
Oh man, but yeah. So anything else going on, brother?
No, that was probably about the highlight of yesterday, and that
was the highlight.
That was the highlight of yesterday. There's reasons for that, but I won't get into those. But other than that, it's been pretty chill week.
Cool. Yeah, cool. My week's been pretty good. I can't complain, man. It's been a really good week actually. There's been some moments in this week that's been really good.
Yeah.
So. Yeah, man. Yeah. All right. Well, Papa Jack, brother, let me just say to you personally how much I enjoy your radio show. Let's talk about W.T.A.U. Pea Ridge Nation briefly, because we put you guys over every week. Since you play all these great bands, independent musicians and artists, it has turned me back on the music so hard now, man. Because I get that feeling I used to get back when I was younger, listening to like mainstream radio stations. A new band, like let's say, good God, I don't know, man. Maybe the Foo Fighters, maybe. I'm just trying to think of some older new bands that I remember listening to for the first time on the radio. Alice in Chains is one. Kind of during that grunge era, Pearl Jam. You start hearing these bands and songs.
Pearl Jam, I think, for me was that. Well, I don't know, maybe a few more after that. Pearl Jam, I think, was that last Magic.
I would have to
maybe
agree.
Rob Zombie.
Yeah, but even he was kind of a little gimmicky.
Yeah,
I love Rob Zombie. I love White Zombie. But it's a little gimmicky. I can even think about listening to the new songs off the Metallica Black album. It's just to kind of date myself here. I mean, I know we're going. I mean, you talk about.
I think I'm with Mike on that. Yeah. You know what? And I'll have to tell you, this is just we all have opinions. Metallica, loved them when they first came.
Oh yeah.
Ride the Lightning, Master of Puppets.
Both of those are masterpieces.
But after Cliff.
It just died.
I'll still defend Injustice for All.
I've never loved / hated an album more than Injustice for All, because that was my first exposure to Metallica.
Well, I saw that tour.
Yeah, right.
And as a matter of fact, I saw them open for Ozzy when they had
Cliff.
Master of Puppets. Yes, sir. Yeah. And then I've seen Injustice tour, and then after that I saw them when the Black Album come out in Charlotte.
Yeah,
I was very disappointed.
I remember.
I just didn't. They didn't. It was something. I guess I don't know everybody. So I guess it's a bad night or something like that. But it wasn't. I wasn't.
It wasn't Metallica.
Yeah,
right.
It wasn't Metallica. What we knew Metallica as at that point.
Right.
So I was at that show too. That was my first big show.
Right.
Big show. That I saw, and it was fun.
Sure. Well, right.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Sure.
It was fun at 16. It was a blast.
And I'm sure
it was more epic. Of a blast being with everybody I was with at that moment.
Right. I guess it's more about your people and the environment more than the actual music itself.
But it was a produced show.
And last week when I was listening to your last week's show, you were talking about, and I have to bring this up. Oh, Christ. But anyway, you was talking about Motley Crue.
Yeah.
I never got into Motley Crue. I never, and now people are like,
oh, they're huge because of that movie. Yeah, that movie's out really boost them back up.
Yeah, boost them back up. But and I saw them for free because I got a free pass.
Yeah, right.
An old friend of mine said, "Hey, I don't want to go to the show, but will you go to the show with me? You know, I've got another ticket. I got an extra ticket. And I'm like, okay, it's a Motley Crue Theater of Pain tour.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Go in there, and you know, it's like, okay, here they come on stage. You know, and I've never seen them live. Right. You know, and I've heard albums from them and stuff. Sure. I even bought Theater of Pain. Right. You know,
sorry.
I bought it.
Not a great album, brother.
Yeah. And then it was like, okay, and it was like, okay, and I was bored to tears, man. Right. It was terrible.
Yeah, and that was during their really.
It was terrible.
They started getting strung out around that time.
And it was like bass solo. Really, a bass solo? The guy's just
easy now, easy.
He's tumbling on the floor.
That was it was not much of a bass solo.
Right. It was more Nicky Sixx riding the E and dancing.
Yeah, he's tumbling on the floor. You know, like humping his bass and boom, 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 boom. You know,
he's riding the hell out of that E.
Yeah, it just felt like throwing a cup at him. You know,
get your ass out of here.
If you've ever seen a Gene Simmons bass solo,
there you go.
This is that, but
not necessarily a Geddy Lee solo.
Yeah. And then I walked out.
Yeah,
really. You didn't even make it for the show.
I couldn't take it, guys. I walked out.
Well, I know they were never known for their live performances.
No,
I know. I walked out, man. I walked out, waited on my friend. You know, I was standing in the car. He's like, "What are you doing?" I said, "Man, I walked out to get out
anywhere but
bro.
there."
Yeah,
I wouldn't be anywhere but that.
Sorry to say, all you Motley Crue fans, I'm sorry, but that's just the way I saw it, man. You know.
I mean, make no mistake, I love their first few albums. I mean, really, even Saints of Los Angeles, which came out maybe close to 10 years ago by now, I thought that was a good album.
That's on here.
I'll take it, brother. I like that album. Now, don't get me wrong, I don't listen to it.
All right.
You know, it definitely didn't have the replayability like a Girls, Girls, Girls or Dr. Feelgood, but I like those albums. I was a fan of Motley Crue. I never saw them live, and honestly, I'm glad I didn't. After talking to you guys, I'm glad I missed that.
Where's that flushing?
Yeah, all right.
This is the Motley Crue live. Get out of here.
Yeah.
Is that Nicky Sixx going down there? There he is. There he goes. There's that bass solo.
Well, I was telling you guys.
But Tommy Lee, I was saying,
go ahead, man. Go ahead.
Tommy Lee is that live.
Oh yeah, right. And Tommy Lee's a great drummer.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, and
I love Tommy Lee. I love watching him and his energy.
Right.
Is just.
I always said Tommy Lee was almost more of a frontman than Vince Neil
for
with Motley Crue, and that's a true thing. I mean, but really,
probably sing better than Vince.
I can't argue.
Doc McGee could probably sing better than Vince.
You know, it's so funny, man, because I love Vince Neil's voice. I really do.
That's right, Vince Neil. Mike Payne at P.O. Box.
Yeah. Vince, if you're listening, you know, don't unsubscribe.
But you know, you mentioned Jason about how you felt when you listened.
Yes.
To you know, that's the goal that I have had. You know, it's like when I first started this, it was like, and as I told you guys before we started recording, when I first started this show, I had to go look for these artists. Right, I was new to this. It was like, okay, well, let's go YouTube your friend with this. You find a band you like, and it's like, oh, check these guys out. This is really cool. So you hit them up, message them, ask them permission to play. Most of the time, man, there's like everybody, yeah, sure.
Yeah, I've not had anyone yet tell me no.
Yeah.
Not once.
And it was like, oh, this is cool. And, you know, you start building momentum, and you start getting this and that. Now, we're in it now we're 6 years into it now.
Right, yeah.
6 years to the show. And now we get submissions from all kind of people.
Yeah.
Through Airplay Direct. We get them from Inburst Records.
Yes. German Shepherd Records.
German Shepherd. German Shepherd. There's a bunch. And now that's what's cool now is because with the independent music, it's like, it's not, you know, how many times can you turn on the radio and hear the same stuff stuffed down your throat?
Fuck, man. If I hear another goddamn Journey song on the Fox, man, I swear to God. I
You
mean,
know.
but seriously.
Well,
Oh,
and,
your first thing is you're listening to the Fox.
Well, no, good point. Good point. I will admit I haven't listened to any
That
radio.
is Mike Payne P.O. Box.
John Boy's writing you right now.
yeah, you got it.
But you're right. There is no medium for these bands to be heard. There's no outlet for any of these bands that can be played for an audience.
Right, for the masses,
Yeah.
unless you go look for it.
Right.
You know.
Yeah.
And the thing is, too, man, it's like this as well. Don't get me wrong. I mean, I'm one of those that like to hear radio and hear some old favorites
Sure,
too, you know, and I'm not
absolutely.
trashing it. But the thing about it, man, there's no. If it's an independent artist that's trying to get in the door, they don't have time for them.
Right.
It's like,
Exactly.
no, you're not.
Nope.
You know, you're not selling this and that. You're not got to catch. You know, whatever. You would be amazed, and you guys, and you've heard it.
Mm-hmm.
You would be amazed of the bands out there that is really good.
Great
Right.
music,
Great
brother.
artists, man.
Yeah, and I mean, like, I'll take a band, Center Lane, for instance, because that was one of the first bands that I really got turned on to by listening to your show. Cool people, man.
Yeah.
I sent a message. Not only did they say, yeah, play whatever you want, but we're friends on Facebook now with a couple of their members.
Right.
And I'm listening to that song, Dirty Money, the one that turned me on to them. I'm like, man, if this was back in the 70s, these guys would have been signed by
Yeah.
now. You know, I think
Yeah,
I think a record label would have said, we want to invest in this band. But now, unless you can make a hit on the top 40
Oh, yeah.
station
Yeah.
and you're completely and totally manufactured, you don't really have a shot.
No, and it's the thing about it too, man. It's kind of now where it's like, you know, getting signed is not all what it's cracked
No.
up to be. You know,
No.
and it's like a lot of people are more seems to be more. I don't want to know the word for this. I want to say successful as far as getting it out there, distributing
Yes.
Yeah.
through their own means, like
Right.
Bandcamp, through you know, Spotify, stuff like that.
Sure.
Spotify and all that I've learned from talking to all these independent artists that I deal with. When you start getting into Spotify, CD Baby, they take a pretty good chunk.
Yeah. They
You
got to
know,
get their cut.
yeah. And Bandcamp is like they take a percentage. You have to have a PayPal account. They take a percentage, but it's not a whole lot.
Right.
But the thing about Bandcamp is that if you're trying to sell an album, you're going to be able to listen to it for free on Bandcamp for like how many times, however they got it set.
Right.
And then once you pass that limit, they ask you, hey, you know, you've heard this like 4 or 5 times.
Throw
Would
me a
you-
little something.
Yeah,
Yeah.
would you
Yeah.
like to purchase this?
Right.
Which I find that's a good deal.
Yeah. Well, you get to test it out.
But if I figure also too, as if being an artist myself, if they're going to listen to it more than 3 times and they don't buy it,
they're probably
they're not going to buy it.
They're not
Right.
going
Yeah,
to.
you
Yeah.
know, and it's not a
Yeah.
whole lot. What are you talking? $6,
$5,
$7
$6 bucks. Yeah,
for-
yeah.
You know how
Yeah.
many people
Under $10.
What do people spend on fast food a week or you know what I'm saying?
Dude, I can go through Arby's and spend more in one.
Yeah.
Excuse me. Told you.
Trips.
You're taking up Papa Jack's coughing spells.
That's
You
contagious,
had
brother.
more than I had today.
But you know, Papa Jack, you're absolutely right, dude. I actually went to Arby's the other day, and I think I spent like $9, and that was
That's
it.
an average, dude. That's an average for anywhere now.
And you know, yeah, oh, exactly,
Yeah.
dude. And you know, even talking about like selling these CDs and the digital downloads, and I know both you guys know this for sure. Like, people don't even buy music anymore. I couldn't even tell you the last time I bought something.
There's
Seriously.
people that do buy music, buy albums. There is such of a thing, thankfully. But and at the same time, most of the time it's like, hey man, if I can listen to it for free,
Why not?
Fuck you.
Why not?
You know
I
what I'm
mean,
saying?
yeah.
You know, hey
Yeah.
man, I can get this for free,
Yeah.
this and that. And don't get me wrong, man. I mean, you know, I like digging stuff for free too.
Sure.
But yeah, pay these people.
Yeah.
These people
Yeah.
put in hours
Work.
and hours in just, you know, writing and arranging and recording.
They go in the
and,
studio.
Yeah, you know, you got to give them something. You just like the music scene live. Okay, you know, all these years that I've done this live thing, I've all the time, including every band I've ever been involved with, I probably managed to be able to pay 1 year of property taxes.
Maybe.
Right, yeah.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
And you're talking,
Yeah.
what, good 20, maybe 30 years of this?
Man,
Yeah,
I've been
man.
From since 1982.
There, see, there you
81.
go.
You know, that's the thing. It's like any other business as well. You know, anything that you make is gonna have to go back into your equipment.
Oh, yeah.
You know.
Exactly, Mike.
Exactly. And
Yep.
you know, we can even look at our wrestling careers. I mean,
Yeah.
you know, if I took every dollar I made in wrestling, I couldn't even go to Arby's. I mean,
Yeah,
but that's the
they
truth,
have
man.
it. Yeah.
You know, I mean, hell,
Hey,
I,
get a cup of ice.
yeah, even then they're like, no, motherfucker, you owe too much. You know?
Can I get a handful of ice?
Sip it for a dime.
Well, put it this way: would you expect to go to the doctor, you know, and say, "Hey, man, you know, something's wrong with you. I can't pay you today, man." You know,
Yeah.
You know,
Well, actually, yes, I can think of that. Actually.
I can think about it.
I've actually
It's
kind of
gonna-
done that. Yeah. Send me a bill.
Yeah, send me a bill.
I
Yeah,
got you.
yeah, but you're gonna get
you
billed.
will. You will pay
Is
it.
it,
You will
is it
pay
gonna
it.
happen?
You will pay it.
No.
That-
You will
that's for
pay.
sure.
And the thing about it, man, that's the thing. That's what's happened. And I think you guys, Jason, you brought up talking about the music scene. That's what happened pretty much to the music scene. And me, including myself, I've done it. I'm just as guilty as every fucking body else, man. We'll play for free. Just to be able to
get the
open up
exposure.
Right.
Yeah, just to be able to open up for Queensryche.
Sure.
Or this and that. We'll open up for free, man. The club owners took that.
Oh, fuck
and,
yeah, they're not going to say no.
You know,
Right.
and
Exactly.
get in my throat,
Right.
you know, and that's pretty much what killed it here.
And you know, let me ask, because I know we can go ahead and start staring into that subject, you know, the local band scene. You know what? I was always kind of assuming really, I guess maybe brought down the band scene or definitely had a role in it. It's just the winds of music have changed, you know, because back when you were coming up and we were coming up, it was all metal, rock and roll. Now, dude, it's not about Southern rock.
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely,
Yeah.
you know, but back then it was about being the most kick-ass drummer you can be, the most kick-ass guitar player, the most kick-ass bass player. Now it's about being a DJ. Now it's about getting a laptop, you know, and setting up a couple of speakers. You know, I think that has a little bit to do with it too. I think, you know, rock and roll's just not as cool as it was. So you don't really see any of the young people. We had like one young band, the After Kings, that played a couple years ago. And man, I haven't seen anybody under the age of 30 in a band around here since. And let's face it, dude, I know we're all over 30 now, but before we were 30, we all said, we ain't going to, you know, we're going to be too cool for that shit after 30, you know, but obviously we're still doing it. You know?
Right. No, yeah.
But I think that has a lot to do with it too, man. And it kind of is a little bit of a heartbreaker to see. Like I said, I think, you know, hip hop and rap music and dance music have become more popular.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, like I said, it's cooler now to have that laptop and be able to have these, you know, drop the bass, as they say, other than learn how to play the bass.
Right. Learn how to play. And also too, man, there never really was a venue here for live, unless you go with Apple Festival, Hog Happening when that's no more,
and that's gone.
There's maybe a couple other clubs that opened up and tried it, you know, bike night, this and that, you know. But at the same token, compare it. And you can't really do it, but if you compare it to this to Charlotte today.
Yeah.
Oh.
Okay. Amos is coming back.
Yeah.
Okay, it's back. That's a great venue to play if you can get in.
Right.
And the thing about it, like I said, there's too many people going on that will play for free.
Yeah.
And then what happens is that trickles down to everything else, and they're not gonna.
You can't get any momentum. It's almost like you're selling yourself short.
Yeah,
you know, you're
and it's
underselling
not all
yourself.
about the money. You know, it's really, to me, you know, it's not about the money. Really, if you know, I hear people like, well, you know, if you really love what you do, man, you know, shouldn't be about the money.
Well, you gotta
I'm
fucking
like,
eat.
well, I got some shit too, motherfucker.
Yeah,
you know
you know what I'm saying? You know, gas costs, motherfucker.
Yeah,
I got to
I
get
got
there.
equipment.
Yeah,
there you
equipment,
go.
man.
Yeah.
You know, drums ain't
Yeah,
free.
equipment.
Yeah,
I mean,
I gotta eat. I got a family.
That's what
you know,
I'm
so
saying.
say, I gotta pay bills.
Yes.
You know, I got this and that. It's like, no, I'm not trying to get rich.
Right.
The whole starving artist thing gets a little old after your 30th birthday.
Yeah.
Going back to that whole
Yeah.
before 30
Yeah.
thing, you know, I
Right.
can dig it in your 20s. Same thing with the wrestling.
Exactly.
Hell, we didn't make any money. It was all about the art. It was all
Right.
about the
When
craft.
we were young, yeah,
Yes.
exactly, and we
I would
were
like to-
out there. Yeah, go ahead, Mike.
I would like to remind the listeners right now, if you'd like to subscribe, like, and share.
And you know what the greatest nation in the world is? Donation.
Donation, yeah.
That's P.O. Box.
Yeah, we're gonna put you a PayPal button right there.
We've actually been considering doing some of our outtakes on
Yeah,
the paid channel.
The riskier stuff.
Yeah, the shit that we don't put out.
Yeah. If Mangle Dicks aren't
Dude.
risky enough, you should hear the other stuff.
Mango dicks are free.
Yeah. But have we gotten to that point now that this is our medium? This is our art. This is where we're at now, to where, you know, we're putting this stuff out. Even with us,
Yeah.
you know, we're putting different stuff out on different artists and everything. Papa Jack, obviously.
Absolutely.
You know, and I want to talk about, you know, the flip side of that, you know, talking about contacting these bands. And then you think about that. Absolutely. I'd love for you to play our stuff. And then you have so much trouble with other bands, bigger bands.
Yeah. Oh God.
Right,
Bro.
That's like,
right.
Don't you dare play my music.
There's been
God.
some instances.
Yeah.
As a matter of fact, I recall, like I said, you know, most guys are like, awesome, man. Appreciate the support. We appreciate it. And I in turn appreciate it. Yeah.
Right.
And then I've had one, or maybe more than one, but I know the one I recall. I had asked them, and they were like, okay, and then they sent me a track to play, so I started playing them.
Right.
Not gonna mention the name.
Yeah.
Started playing. It's been a while back. They were a metal band. Then started playing, and then all of a sudden they get hooked up with some kind of label. It's not even a big label. It's like a sort of a indie type thing.
Right. Upstart type.
Yeah, it's not even. I don't even remember the label, but so here I am playing them. One of them gets in touch with me and says, "Hey, motherfucker, what the fuck are you playing?"
It's like, well,
And I went, "You guys sent me
The song you said we
to
could."
play. Not unless you give us our royalties."
oh, see ya.
Royalties. Well, see, you got the royalties, you know, and all this stuff. And it's like, okay, with my deal with W.T.A.U, with Spreaker, we go through Spreaker. It used to be, I don't know how it is now. It used to be, if you're on certain distributing thing, you'll get royalties.
Right.
That's what we pay to do a month. We pay $20 a month to do a 3-hour show.
Right.
Okay, and so that I was understood that was part that went to the royalties that paid. It's not a whole lot.
Right,
You're right, but still
that would
it's
cover
something.
Yeah.
everybody.
It's like an
It's not
umbrella
a whole
type.
lot. It's like what, 10 cents?
Right.
Yeah.
You know,
Seriously, yeah.
but now I don't know exactly how that happens now today. I know that happened before. But see, the thing that's the thing. It's like royalties. We don't out of pocket. I don't pay out royalties
Right.
to anyone. I always ask for permission,
Yes.
and it's kind of like that deal. If they agree and it's cool, then I will play their music.
Right.
I don't care who you are.
Right.
I'll play your music,
Absolutely.
and in return, that I do not share that material other than the radio show. I do not go make copies of this.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Exactly.
You know,
And try to redistribute it or something.
No, that's a no.
Yeah, exactly.
But and the thing about it, it's a mutual, it's a respect kind of thing,
Right.
and I've made a lot of friends over the years with artists, and become very good friends with some people that I admire very much so. And in turn, in other words, the good has outweighed the bad.
Right,
You've had a couple of bad apples come up and cuss you. And,
right. And at the bottom line, man, you're just trying to get their art to the masses.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You're just trying to help them out.
Yeah,
you know?
exactly.
Now, I told a story a few weeks ago. I actually reached out to an up-and-coming country artist, Cody Jenks. I'm a fan of this guy. He is on a major label now, but he was still, I consider him to be somewhat underground. He just got an opening slot on the Skinner tour, so he's definitely coming up, you know. So I wanted to play one of his songs, you know. So, Mike, good Lord, brother, I reached out, and I almost had some success. I was able to track down his manager and the record label. But Jesus Christ, man, it was like I talked to his record label. Well, you have to talk to the distributor. Okay, well, I'll find out who that is. Well, here's a website. I get 3 different listings. Well, the first listing refers me back to the second. The second one's no longer handling it, so I go to the third. The third actually takes me back to the first. So I was going in fucking circles. Man, this ordeal went on for about 3 weeks. And I mean, I'm emailing people every day. This lady, Chloe Robinson, who, God bless that woman. I invited her to listen to the podcast because, I mean, she was trying to help, and she really was. She was trying to help me out, but it tripped me out that the record label didn't even know who the distributor was and was not sure who the manager was. She finally got me in touch with the manager, and after about my 4th or 5th email of not getting a response, I was like, well, hell, I'm going straight to the junk folder at this point. Because his name, I forget his name, his full name was Ollie something, I can't remember it, and I was Mr. So-and-so. You know, I do the whole spiel. I want to play your artist, Cody Jenks. Well, toward the end of it, but by the last email, I'm like, hey, what's up, Ollie? It's your buddy Jason down here in Lincolnton again. Still waiting to hear back from you. And after that, when I was like, okay, I threw in the towel. But I know what you're saying, brother. It is a bitch to get these people playing.
And the thing about it too is what's made it a lot easier for us at WTAU. It's made it a lot easier. Is, like I said, being in the 6th year of the show now, it's a lot easier because we have signed up for submission, like I told you, Airplay Direct, the Inverse Records, German Shepherd Records, all these people, and it's made my job a lot easier. Right. I still do the old school thing when I first started and go after people.
Yeah.
If I'll go look for people, you know, it's like, hey, I'll dig this. You know, and I contact them.
Right.
But it's made it a lot easier that these people send me an email their submissions. And
want you to play it.
Right.
You know.
And listen, guys, if anybody's out there in a band, artist,
yes.
The shameless plug.
Put it over, brother. No, we're always shameless.
Hit us up, man. We're on Facebook.
Yes.
We're on the Facebook. We're on the Facebook. we're on the Facebook.
And you can hit us up too.
Yeah,
you know,
hit the PUDs up.
Yeah. We can always get you in contact.
They have a Facebook.
Yes, we do.
Yep.
Yes.
And hit us up, man. Yeah.
In fact, Mike, you know, that's one thing that I kind of have been a little disappointed with is we played a lot of great independent music, but we haven't really played anybody local. Now, we did play Pound Sign 6, and I know
Pound Sign 6.
Yeah, they're out of Hickory, so that's fairly, and I know Center Lane's out of South Carolina, so we're still in the vicinity, but man, I would like to play some Lincolnton bands.
I've got something pretty close for you. If you ever heard of Queen City Rejects,
we may be familiar with a couple of those guys. John, man, yes.
Played them last night.
Yeah, I saw it on the playlist. I haven't gotten to it yet. We need to reach out. I would love to get those guys on.
There's quite a few. I'm trying to think of how many more. I don't have a whole lot.
Right.
Maybe I could probably count on 3 fingers, maybe, of people that have had.
Like you hit this area.
Yeah,
like Lincoln,
and I asked them.
Brother.
I go out and ask them, guys. It's like, hey, man, be sure and send me that when you can. I'd love to play it on the radio show. Yeah, man, hell yeah.
At least you get a reply, brother.
Yeah, it's like, hell yeah. And it's like, I'm sitting over here. It's been like 3 years.
Yeah.
And I'm sitting here going, I hadn't heard a fucking thing from
Right.
it.
Dude, I know we were talking before we hit record, and I bitch about this every chance I get. But I reached out to one person who lives maybe about 3 or 4 miles from me. I've known since 7th grade. He's in a local band. Still waiting on a reply. This has been about 3 months ago. Yes,
I think he talks about this every show.
every fucking show. Every fucking show.
Yeah.
But my God, man, I'll have bands from fucking Finland not only write me back, but write me back in the same, usually within the hour.
Yeah, they will.
Yeah, and they're like, please play us. Here's some more stuff.
Here,
You know.
you want the whole album?
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. Dude, we've gotten free fucking digital downloads, man, doing this shit. And
you get some good stuff.
it's
man.
cool.
Yeah.
It is cool. And just being able to expose it to people, I mean, dude, I love doing the podcast. I've always loved it. But when we started playing these these independent bands, thanks to you at WTAU, it really made me feel like we're once again, to use the quote, doing the Lord's work here.
Well,
We're
and
really trying to spread this word.
That's what tickled me to death, man. I seen where you guys were getting these bands that I was playing. I was like,
Yeah.
hey, man, really cool, you know, and it was like, then you guys are finding them, you know, through our show, and it's like, oh, this is really cool. I feel like I've accomplished something if I can get somebody to pay attention to something that they like
right.
And to
out
put it
there.
out.
And like I said, you know, the radio, you turn on the radio. I swear to God, if I hear Margaritaville one more
Thank
time,
you.
I'm going to go postal. What kind of station are you listening to?
Right, don't stop believing. Goddamn Phil fucking Collins and goddamn Boston. I not like most of these
I like
bands.
Boston.
Yeah,
I like Phil
I
Collins.
I like Phil Collins. And
I'm not a Phil Collins.
I don't.
fan,
I
actually.
don't. What song are you talking about?
What, for Phil Collins?
Yeah.
Dude, there's only one Phil Collins song I do like. That's Land of Confusion.
What song
That'd
are
be
you talking about on the
Genesis,
radio?
That's even
yeah.
Genesis.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dude,
Dude,
are you talking about In the Air Tonight?
Dude,
You
don't-
gotta be fucking kidding
That
me.
is-
The only reason to hear that song is to wait to that.
Yeah, that's cool. That's
Thank
cool.
you.
But you know what's really cool about that part? There's no fucking vocals, man. That's why I like that one little part of that song. Dude, to me, the smell of dog food is the equivalent of the sound of Phil Collins' voice, man.
Oh,
Wow.
whoa.
Wow.
Oh.
Wow.
Well, I meant that as a compliment.
Okay, fair enough.
Wow. Wow.
But to be fair, In the Air
not a
Tonight
fan.
and Land of Confusion. But you can listen to
But
Land of Confusion.
I love that song, man. I love that song. I don't know. It's the only song that Phil Collins has ever had lead vocals on that I'm like, I like that song. It's like Journey. I don't like Journey, but I love Separate Ways.
Have you ever heard of the very first Journey?
No, I don't think so.
You would be shocked.
Is it
Before Steve Perry.
Oh no, I didn't even know that there was a Journey
Before Steve Perry.
Before Steve
I had no
Perry, yeah.
idea. Like I
Yeah.
said, I'm not that big of a fan.
What's
so-
the? I'll set you up with that after the show.
Yeah. I'd like to hear that.
I'll talk to you about that. Yeah, it's great, man. It's like it's pretty much. It's like I want to say it's kind of proggish.
Right, really?
Yeah, it's
okay.
It's not Steve Perry.
It doesn't have that poppy.
No.
Okay.
It's Neil Shawn.
Right. Well, who is a great guitarist?
Neil
I
Shawn.
mean, he's great.
And the guy that used to be with Steve Miller Band, the bass player, Ross Valerie.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I'm not familiar.
And some of the Santana guy.
Oh hell, man! Sounds
Yeah.
like a hell of a lineup, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not familiar with that. I may actually like that Journey.
You may like it. Now, I like some of the Journey. I liked. Oh man, when I'll tell you what I got when it came out. I think it was 1980, 81. The live album Captured.
Yeah, not familiar.
Oh my God! I bought that thing, man. It had Dixie Highway.
Okay.
Yeah, had the live stuff of Any Way You Want It.
Yeah,
stuff like that.
okay, yeah.
Line of Fire.
Any way you want it, I want it turned off.
Wah, wah.
Will in the Sky's
Terrible.
okay. Will in the Sky's okay.
Terrible.
Dude, if I hear that Na 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 song one more time, man.
Na,
Oh,
na,
God, man.
Tell you, it's just the Fox. You need to stop listening to the Fox.
I'm way ahead of you, brother.
And how many times have you been at a party and somebody kept being drunk and playing
Don't Stop Believing.
Take It to the Limit by the Eagles over and over and over.
I love the
Eagles. Over and over.
Stop it.
I
Come
love
on,
the
not
Eagles.
Take It to the
Stop
limit.
it. You
dude.
cannot.
I do love
You
the
cannot
Eagles.
talk this mad shit about everybody else and then say like, Take It to the Limit.
Take It to the Limit is a fucking masterpiece.
It's a fucking masterpiece. It's
I love Take It to the
incredible.
Limit. It is, man. I mean, the lights have turned to blue, brother. I love that song, man.
Your music is shit, but mine is refined.
Well, yes, yes.
Send your hate mail to Jason.
P.O. Box.
P.O. Box Jason.
We're really going to get a P.O. Box one day.
Oh, yeah.
because-
Yeah, for sure.
Dude, that son of a bitch will be
Yeah.
filled up.
Yeah. Anthrax. Anthrax.
I
Anthrax.
don't
all
like
the way,
them that
baby.
much either, dude. I'm
Yeah.
not an Anthrax fan.
Oh, fucking A.
I like the John Bush stuff. I did like the shit.
You
with
get the fuck out of here.
no shit,
You're
man.
nasty.
Yeah, man. I like
You're
John
nasty.
You don't like it? You don't like Anthrax?
Bush. No, just the John Bush era. I didn't like
Okay.
Joey Belladonna. that
I
much.
got to see Anthrax open up. Who would they open up for? They was opening up for back when State of Euphoria come out.
Oh shit,
Oh,
that was a good album.
Ozzy.
Was it
Yeah.
Ozzy?
Yeah,
Okay,
Ozzy.
okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, because they were running the same show.
Oh man,
Yeah.
they kicked ass at me.
Yeah.
State of Euphoria. Well, I'm kind of bullshitting about Anthrax. I do like Anthrax. Get him out of here. Get out of here.
They got shit on a lot.
Yeah, they did. They did.
And a lot of times they were better than the bands that they're.
Sometimes. But dude, I was a fan of the John Bush era when they dropped Joey Belladonna and got John. I think
Nasty.
John Bush because I liked Armored Saint back in the day.
I wasn't.
Yeah, I liked Armored Saint.
I was
yeah.
not a big fan of Armor.
Really,
Saint. Yeah.
really, I was a pretty big
was
fan,
not.
and I did like John Bush. I still think he's a much better vocalist than Joey Belladonna. I mean, Joey
I just
Belladonna
don't-
was not too great of a
I think he
vocalist. I
fit.
think.
I think he fit for Anthrax.
Yeah, I can dig that.
You know,
Yeah, I can totally dig
if
that.
he would have been in any other band, I don't think he would have fit. But his vocals fit Anthrax.
I tell you though, that
Like John Bush, I didn't think his vocals fit
See,
Anthrax at all.
I disagreed because I thought that Sound of White Noise was my favorite, by far my favorite Anthrax. Song for song, it was by far my favorite album. Now, once again, guys, I'm not the biggest Anthrax fan. I'm not over here like I've got their whole catalog out, but State of Euphoria was it's a masterpiece, man. It really
one,
is
to me is their best.
State of
yeah,
Euphoria,
without
for sure.
without a doubt.
And a social.
Yeah.
Yes, man.
Yeah.
Caught in the Mosh wasn't Caught in the Mosh on
No.
that. No, it wasn't on that
that
one.
was Be All End All.
Be all and all.
Okay.
Oh my God, there are so many on that album.
Yeah.
And they are a classic band.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
yeah.
They are next level iconic.
They were really. When I saw them, man, they had a lot. Their energy. Was
Yes.
It was just. I mean, it
Yeah.
was like just intense, man. It was. They were jamming.
And I think it's one of those bands that we can even, maybe equate it to a little bit. David Lee Roth fronted Van Halen. Maybe not the best vocals, really, truthfully, but live.
All right. Somebody asked me, said, Sammy Hagar or David Lee Roth? I said both.
Both. I love both.
I do.
Yeah,
I do.
both,
I like
man.
both.
Yeah.
That first Van Halen album when it come
Yeah.
out, holy shit,
Dude, it's a
what's this
masterpiece.
eruption? What the
Yeah.
fuck is this
Oh,
shit,
yeah.
man?
Absolutely.
Never heard
Yeah.
anything like
No.
Exactly.
done like that. And then fucking the second album, I liked Women and Children First.
Fair Warning, my favorite Van
Fair
Halen
Warning,
album by far.
But
I
then
love
when
that
the
album.
Hagar era 5150 come
5150.
out, I was like, man,
Every
you know what?
song is great.
Yeah.
On that
It's a
album.
great
It is,
album.
yes.
5150. And I've heard people trash it. Oh, fuck this shit.
It's too
Yeah,
poppy.
It sucks.
Yeah.
Sucks.
Keyboards.
Sucks.
Keyboards.
It's like,
Yeah,
no,
yeah.
man, this is really cool.
Yeah.
Dude, and I, speaking of the Queen City Rejects, I think Johnny Dick said it best on one of his Facebook posts one time. He was like, David Lee Roth fronted, and I'm going to paraphrase this, and I know I'm not going to get this 100% right, but basically, David Lee Roth, Van Halen was a badass Camaro. You're drinking a beer, you're smoking a cigarette, you're having a blast, everything's jamming. Sammy Hagar, you're just driving a Cadillac, but it's still badass. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
You know what I'm
right,
saying?
right,
and that
right,
Camaro is
yeah.
a badass Camaro,
Yeah,
man. I mean, it's almost. Because I do think the Sammy stuff was a little poppier, obviously. It had more keyboards. It was more radio friendly. I think mainstream radio friendly.
Yeah.
But I mean, dude, it's also a great rock and roll album.
It is.
I mean, it
man.
really
It
is.
really
Yeah.
is. Yeah, I have to agree with it. 5150, like I said, when 5150 come out, people were automatically just jumping up and down at the hip going, "This sucks."
Well,
and I thought it was great.
Oh, yeah, and you got to think Sammy, brother, he was going into some pretty big shoes.
Yeah.
I mean, you're basically filling in for the greatest frontman, maybe in some opinions ever. You know, I mean, I put him in the top 3. You know, without a doubt.
Live Without a Net video, they come out playing on One Way to Rock.
Yes,
that's a Hagar song, and
Yeah.
then fucking Van Halen comes out and does it. Man, I'm sitting there going, man,
and it melted the fucking barrel with it, brother. Because we were talking about that video last week.
Yeah,
you know?
Man,
and that was how I got turned on to the Sammy stuff.
Yeah.
Now, and I was even like, you know, we were just talking about. I was like, well, this ain't David Lee Roth. You know, I was like, what the hell?
Yeah.
But then it's like, wait a minute, I'm loving this shit though. You know, that was my first exposure to Sammy, and I do think Sammy is a much better vocalist, technically
And he can
speaking.
play too.
And he can play.
He can play.
He's a hell of a guitarist.
Yeah. I saw him open up for ZZ Top. It was the Eliminator tour.
Oh, nice.
And at that time, what album was that with him? Was it 3 Lot Box? What was it? I don't remember.
I'm not real familiar with his solo stuff.
Sammy comes out. This is one of the shows that I saw both bands kick fucking ass.
Yeah.
Sammy comes out and does all his stuff. He comes at the end of his part of his night. He steps up and says, "So what do you guys want to hear?" He was taking requests.
Oh, no shit.
And he was playing what people want, like
And this is a
covers and
stadium
stuff.
show, right?
Yeah, this is a concert. Shawn Coliseum. And then, of course, ZZ comes out and just blew the fucking
I was
dirt.
going to say,
You know, they had the fucking, you know,
swinging the guitars and shit around.
It was eliminated.
Yeah.
Man.
Had the car
Had
and
the
everything.
car.
Oh,
Sammy
dude.
had the car too. You know,
For the I Can't Drive 55.
Yeah, man.
Dude, that's when the concerts were the shit.
They are, man.
And you know, that's something else. You don't kind of going back to an earlier subject. You know, with some of the bands that have been around for so long, and a lack of newer bands coming out. You don't see it like that anymore. You know, they're all usually not tribute, but legacy tours. You know, like Iron Maiden's going on their legacy tour. You know, you have, I think Judas Priest is about to go on one. There's no new bands really coming out to hit that.
Why?
And
Why is Kiss still out there doing a farewell tour?
Because they can still get $1,000 for those fucking tickets.
That's true. That's it, man.
Yeah, man.
But here's the real question: who's paying that for Kiss? I mean, but they're out there.
They are, man.
They're doing it. I mean, you know.
Once again, that's another one of those bands I love / hate. Is Kiss? It's another one.
And the thing about it, man, who can afford to go to a concert anymore?
That's what I'm saying. And that's what I alluded to earlier. Is like, you know, these bands, especially the big bands like Metallica. You know, Ozzy is another one. Kiss. These guys,
Judas Priest,
Eagles,
Iron Maiden, Eagle. Oh Jesus, man, the Eagles.
You talk about those ticket prices,
and
then you hear them bitch about, no, you can't play our stuff, on YouTube.
But you're charging $100 for a nosebleed.
And the surcharge, and the
parking,
merch.
God,
merch.
Dude, I mean, the T-shirts are $40 fucking now, man. Yeah. I mean, back in the day, and I know there's a little age between me and Mike and you, Papa Jack, but we're not that far in age. But looking back, I remember, dude, you could literally just scrounge up enough change in your car to get a lawn seat.
Yeah,
back in the day, if you want to go hit the pavilion or nosebleed, we did. We literally did.
We lived on the lawn.
Yes. We always call them the grass seats because that's where the good grass was.
Yeah,
right.
Or the terrace.
Yeah.
That was just cool. That was cool too.
Yeah.
I actually got to see Rush like that. The R30.
I was at that show. I was at that show.
I was straight right, dead center with Neil Peart.
Yes, I was there, man.
Straight, and you could feel that bass drum. Just boom,
and that was on the lawn.
Yeah, man. It was awesome, man.
But even then, dude, back in those days, you could do that. Now, if you want to go see a band, you gotta. I mean, brother, it's almost like a fucking vacation.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, it is.
I mean, you really got to plan.
With the family.
Yeah,
it is.
Yes, that's
with like
thing.
the Griswolds.
Yeah, man, all right, everybody, we're going to Metallica. Come on, Junior. Let's go.
Really?
Don't forget the sunscreen. I mean,
Really?
but seriously, man, and you got to save up for it too, man.
And that's the thing. Used to. Well, I'll be honest with you. I'll tell you my age. I'll be 50 something. I'll be 50. I'll be 54 coming to July.
See, man, looking good too, bro.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Good, bro.
And along back in my day, we scrounged up enough money. I remember when tickets were. I remember I paid $6 to see Iron Maiden.
See, dude, yeah.
Something like
Years
that.
ago,
It's
man,
like,
years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now,
Like
$10.
yeah.
Oh yeah.
But now, if you go see Iron Maiden now,
Oh yeah, for sure.
Jesus,
But-
take
Yeah.
a fucking loan out.
That would be great if there was something that the kids could scrounge up
To go
for now
see.
to go see now.
Because all those bands, brother, they're so far out of their wellhouse. And,
Right.
well,
Hey,
now, I do got to be honest. I've known some younger people at my job and everything.
It's the Led Zeppelin syndrome.
To-
I'll go ahead and say it.
You are not a fan of Led Zeppelin, are you,
Man,
Mike Payne?
Oh,
Here we go.
I've seen it from my generation to every other generation.
So you're not a Greta Van Fleet.
That will wear that Led Zeppelin shirt.
Well, you're right, man. I mean, it's still a fact. AC/DC's like that. Pink Floyd. You'll still see a lot
Yes.
of kids
Yes.
wearing who's never even heard the album.
Watch it now.
Oh, the shit's getting real,
I
brother.
know they will.
No, talking about Pink Floyd and
they'll-
Zeppelin.
Oh, I
now.
mean,
Yeah.
I love.
Well,
I
they'll
love
go into
Floyd.
that-
I love Floyd.
They'll go into
Mikey
that.
hates Led Zeppelin.
Oh,
I
man.
do. I hate Led
Oh,
Zeppelin.
there's always got to be one.
hate-
There's always one in every crowd, ain't there?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dude, they stole some great songs. I mean, they wrote some great songs.
That's the one. I just say I hate them. He'll straight up say they stole songs from everybody.
But I do
anyway,
like a lot of Zeppelin. I really do. Yeah.
But no, you'll see it in every generation come through, and they're rocking out the Zeppelin shirt, and they'll be in the Zeppelin for about 6 months.
Maybe. But now a lot of younger people that I've talked to do like the classics, man. They
Oh,
do.
yeah.
They love the Skinner, the Zeppelin, the Rush. And
Yeah.
that kind of music will never go away because it's just that good.
I've never heard any of the younger kids saying they love the Rush.
I have. Well, when I say the young one, I know a guy who's like 23 and he liked Rush. Come on, man, we got to embellish here, brother. Hey, we're still old school wrestlers,
Yeah.
man. We still sell it.
Right, yeah.
Hey, man, there's a lot of people that like Rush, bro. There's one dude, he's
Listen,
23.
yeah.
He may not like him anymore.
Right.
I haven't talked to him in a few months.
Oh, I remember you, Jason, a long time ago.
Oh, shit.
We were talking about bands I used to be. We actually opened up for Blue Oyster Cult,
Okay.
Cadillacs.
Wait a minute, man. Is this Blue Oyster Cult or Molly Hatchet?
Blue Oyster Cult, we opened up for.
No, which band were you in at the time?
Ion Britton.
Okay, all right. I was thinking of another show.
You were there.
I wasn't
No,
at that.
no Blue. Which one were you? Were
I was at the Molly Hatchet show.
you were singing every fucking lyric.
That was the Hatchet
with the
guitar
Danny
player.
Joe.
Yeah. That was the Molly Hatchet
that
show.
That was you, man.
Because let me ask you, Mike, do you remember what happened at that Molly Hatchet? Because the Thundercats opened up for it. Which Furman Ramsor, was that your bass player's name?
I wasn't with Thundercats at that time.
Yes, you were. Yes.
Will we open up? Yeah, we did.
Yes,
Yeah,
you
we
were
did.
there, man. Because we were there. Yes,
That shows
Nice.
you how my brain.
There you go.
Hey.
Everybody's learning something new every day.
Hey, oh shit!
No drugs were involved back in the day.
Oh no! God damn, those were
On
great
stage,
times.
on stage or on the floor.
Either way, brother, we were having a good time.
Hey, man, as a matter of fact, if you bring it up, it was us that opened up. Yep, Furman Ramsor, hell of a fucking bass player.
Who got me really playing the way I play
Furman,
today.
the Firm. Man,
He was my
awesome.
influence. He was my influence.
Tim Brown,
Yes.
awesome guitarist.
Great guitarist, man.
Yeah.
And he sang too. Didn't Tim sing?
Yeah, Tim sing. And and we opened up for Molly Hatchet.
Do you remember the fight that broke out with Danny Joe Brown and the guitar player?
Do. Yep, I sure do.
Dude, I don't know if you
I
even know
sure
about
do.
this, Mike, because you guys were already
It seems
backstage.
like I had heard.
You probably heard me tell the story because we were right up front and we were right there.
They were escorting him to the bus, and he was all
fucked up, man.
fucked up, man.
Dude, what had happened was during when Molly Hatchet first came out and started playing, the guitar player kicked the mic stand, but he kind of kicked it behind him. Dude, it hit Danny Joe Brown square in the face.
Yeah.
You could even hear the you know, it made the bump.
Right,
yeah. Danny Joe Brown grabbed him he's playing. He grabbed that motherfucker by the hair and threw him off the stage. He went backstage. You know, he disappeared for the rest of the show. Came out for the encore. So anyway, you know, he jammed. Nothing seemed, a problem. We all went backstage. or behind the not backstage, but behind the venue to try to meet him. And that's when they were bringing Danny Joe Brown out, and he was fucked up,
They
man.
fucked him up,
yeah,
man.
dude. He
Yeah.
had blood on his knuckles. I mean, he got some punches in. Apparently, I mean, that's the way it looked. But they were escorting him on out, and they were like, "Y'all get the fuck away," because we were trying to talk to him and get an autograph.
They wouldn't move for that shit that night,
brother. You ain't never seen a motherfucker get away so quick either. They
Yeah.
get away from you. Yes, sir. I'm
Yeah.
gone, man, because
Yeah.
you had two big ass. But I tell you, Furman Ramsey and the Thundercats. To this day, Mike, that's why I play the way I do, because I'm like, I want to learn that, because he played that slap.
He was the firm.
Oh,
man.
brother.
The firm. He just
He would
talked
slap it
about
like it owed him
slapping the
money,
bass.
bro.
Yes, sir, bro.
I mean, I was almost hypnotized
And
watching him.
You know, Furman played with some great people. He played with Shirley Caesar, the gospel.
Yeah,
thing.
yeah.
Yeah, he was with her and toured with her for quite some time.
I tell you, man,
Before the Thundercats.
right.
Yeah.
Well, I just remember being because I never seen funk bass played before. You know, I wasn't even aware of funk music really at the time. I mean, it was all country or rock and roll. And we were right there in front for that show because your wife now was at that show with me to see you.
Right.
You know, it just so happened Molly Hatchet was there too, you know, who I obviously love.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember you guys came out and Furman started slapping that bass. And I was like, motherfucker, I didn't even know you could do that. And that was it. I was like, I want to learn that. And, and I, over the course of the year, never got to that level, but I did learn how to do some of it.
Yeah, man.
But it was, man. Furman was my main local influence to learn how to play in that particular style because it was, to this day, brother, it gives me goosebumps even talking about it because I was like, I didn't even know you could do that.
Yeah.
That's cool, man. That was cool. It was a great band, too, man. You guys were jamming.
I've
bro.
lost track with Firm. I hope he's doing well.
I do, too.
I haven't seen him in a long time.
But I know you guys were jamming, man. But, you know, you're talking about Ion Britton a little bit earlier, Mike. And, you know, that's the first local band I really remember hearing about around here. Was Ion Britton, brother, man.
Yes, sir.
You guys had out an EP, which we're actually going to play a couple songs off that EP today. You've given us permission to put that out there. Yeah, man. And if anybody gets mad at us, I'm going to tell them to call you. Hey,
P.O. Box.
And I tell you guys what, man, we're actually at the hour mark.
Okay.
So let's go ahead and play. Let's do a double shot. You want to do a double shot, man? Let's play the first. Now, what are the tracks, Mike? Because I don't have my notes pulled up, and I haven't listed that album in a minute.
God, you're bringing up long time ago.
Yes, sir, brother. We're going to bring up the Eat Metal
This
EP.
is from 1987.
87.
Yeah.
87, man. So we're going to kick it off with, what's that, man? I know the second track is Eat Metal. Was it
Illusionation.
Illusionation. God, man, that's a hard word to spell, brother. So
you okay?
Oh, bro, I don't know, man. That's me here in about an hour. So we got Illumination and Eat Metal. We're going to do a double shot. And once again, Mike, we appreciate you letting us play this because we want to put this back out for people who maybe haven't heard this thing.
Sure, man.
So, yeah, man, we're going to go ahead and play these. Y'all don't go anywhere. We're going to be right back.
Roaring and to can you feel it? I do.
we're back once again. You just heard Ion Britton. That was Lincolnton's own Ion Britton, and we have the drummer with us right now. That's Papa Jack, Mike Sherrill. Mike, once again, brother, thank you for being in the PUDcave. Thank you for letting us play this music. We're going to play the other 2 songs a little bit later, so we can, have the whole EP played here on the PUDcast. Once again, brother, what was it like making that album, brother?
Oh wow, good question. Yeah,
now it came out in 1987.
87. We it was awesome, man.
You'd have been in your 20s, I guess.
I was in early 20s,
okay.
yes, and we basically funded this ourselves. We worked in the mill,
right,
third shift,
right. Don't paying them dues, brother.
Yeah, worked in the mill, third shift, and we lived pretty much at the practice building.
Right.
We'd come home, go to bed, get up around 4:00 in the afternoon, and show up to practice.
Right.
There we go until about 9.
Go to work,
do it all over again.
Wash, rinse, repeat.
and except for the weekends, which was Saturday and Sunday, we still practiced and rehearsed. So we were doing this like 7 days a week,
right?
Putting a lot of time in rehearsing for all this, just for 4 songs on an EP.
Yeah, right, man.
And it was really great. What I need to mention too is well, it was a wonderful deal from Mark Williams and Jamie Hoover at OVO Productions at Reflection Sound Studios in Charlotte.
Right.
All right. They got the ball rolling, so to speak, on basically we got in there, started tracking. I think that we had a lot of fun doing this. Now we were experienced a little bit before because we did some beforehand practice recording at J. Howard Production Studios.
Okay. Right.
So we got the feel of being able, the drums being isolated. We were all headphones and this, that, so we got used to that environment.
Like a professional type.
Right, because we were all about live,
yes.
Play
the jam room.
Yep. So we got accustomed to what it's going to be like in that studio environment.
Right.
So we did that. As a matter of fact, I think there was this lady. She was doing a course, like a course for college to record us at J. Howard's. It was like a credit.
Yeah.
And she did a great job.
That's cool.
Have the demo from that. We have some songs that's not been released.
Right.
And she did a great job with that. That prepared us for going into Reflections to do the big time recording.
Right.
We took a while to get everything together. We took our time because we were always, okay, it's going to be right.
Exactly.
And
do the diligence.
So we got in, and first thing we do is set up the drums, get them ready. Jamie Hoover walks in. He's tuning his drums, my drums. He's like, tuning the drums. He the way he did that was like the toms need to be to where you can play the national anthem on the toms. Doom, 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 doom.
Really?
Up and down.
Yeah,
like that. So it was like really cool. Something I did not know.
Right.
I was young. I didn't. And
there wasn't no YouTube back then.
No YouTube.
You were sinking or swimming.
Yeah, right.
Really.
Yeah. And we get it all keyed up, man. And I remember we tracked the drums. We did spend a lot of time there.
Right.
And we had dinner with them. We had dinner with some pretty cool people.
Right.
And I want to say those guys like to eat. I mean, because we would go out and eat dinner, be late night session, like mixing after, and we'd go out to dinner, and wouldn't like an hour or so later, they're hungry again.
Damn it, man.
So here comes some pizza.
Okay, right. Feed the beast.
Yeah. And so it was very, very great environment. It was a very great experience for me. I'll never forget it. Mark Williams, Jamie Hoover, OVO Productions, and after we cut the album, finished it up, we had the Phoenix, Arizona, had the cover messed up. They messed up the cover.
Yeah.
And then not long after they messed up the cover, they went out of business.
There
you remember, the EP was not the color of that.
Yeah.
It was faded.
It was kind of blue, faded blue.
And they messed the cover up. Catherine Hunter did the actual cover that you see there, the colorful one.
It's got more of a
Catherine Hunter. Yeah, she did the artwork for that. As a matter of fact, I've got the inlay for that whole album at my home, in my closet, put up.
Right.
Our old manager, Al Mosteller,
Right.
brought it to me some time ago, been a few years ago. He said, hey man, he said, I've got the original inlay that y'all used for the album, and I couldn't think of anybody more that needs to have it than you.
Right.
And
That's
I'm
awesome.
I'm like, oh, that's cool, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll take it. So, for what it's worth, I have it.
Right.
And yeah, man, it was great. And then once that was all done and recorded and all said and done, then we started getting, I think we had 1,000 copies printed, just the vinyl. Right. 1,000, only 1,000. That's all there was that we printed. There is no more.
Right.
We never did repress any more vinyl. Yeah. So it was only 1,000 copies.
If you have one of these,
they're floating around out there
they
somewhere.
Are. They're around.
And I hear some people going, "I got a box of them." It's like, well, if you got a box of them,
yeah,
there's a box of 10.
Right.
Wherever the other ones are at, I've seen them on eBay.
Yeah.
For like, what, $400?
$300.
Yeah. I was actually, just to interrupt you briefly, man, I was at that Play It Again Records in Valdez, and it came up, I was like, I'm from Lincolnton. I don't know how, but that album came up, and I was like, yeah, I know the drummer, And the guy that owned the place like, well, if you can find that album, I'll give you $300.
Yeah.
No shit. And so now that's what he was willing to pay me. So imagine what he's willing to sell it for.
Right.
So he's going to make his.
Right.
But yeah, man.
I only ever saw one copy of it. It was back in, I guess it was probably 89.
Right.
Right around that time. 89, 90, something like that. Donnie Hudson had it.
He had one.
Yeah.
He had a copy of it.
He had it.
You know who else had it? Gaston College Radio had it.
Yeah.
No shit, man. I saw it.
Really?
Yeah, when I was going there taking classes, man, we had it. Yeah. I think we played a track one time. Seems like me and Baker actually played Eat Metal off of it.
Yeah.
Seems like I can't remember, but it seems like we did.
I had come across it in the bargain bin at Record Bar.
No shit.
Yeah, years ago. Yeah, man. And the thing about it, like I said, it was only 1,000 copies pressed. And if you got a copy, you might want to look into trying to make your little money if you want to get rid of it.
Absolutely, yeah. Don't sell that shit at a yard sale.
No, don't do that.
For sure,
I've got one copy.
Or sell it to me.
If I could find a copy, it would
Let me know.
probably go right up there.
Right. Oh, yeah, if we had a I'd love to have a copy of that in the PUDcave, brother.
Yep.
God, we may actually have to. Now that you put that in my head, shit. We may be on the lookout now.
I've got one
Now's the time to subscribe, share, and like.
Yes, and send us donations.
Yeah.
P.O. Box.
P.O. Box, send us that shit.
But I have one copy, and that's the only copy I have, and I can't part with that.
No,
Yeah.
But,
no,
and the thing is, too, once those were done, released and everything, Mark and Jamie took it upon themselves to shop it.
Right.
They shopped it overseas. Right. Jamie at the time was with the Sponge Tones.
Oh wow!
Remember the Sponge
Tones?
I don't think so. That doesn't strike.
Jamie was with the Sponge Tones. He still is. They're back in playing still. Yeah.
Familiar.
Yeah. They've been at it. Those guys been at it forever.
Yeah.
But yeah, they were shopping it overseas, and there was a big deal that started happening, and it was like
in Germany,
you guys better I remember one of them tells us, you guys might want to start thinking about getting your passports
and going over there.
And it kind of took a down.
So that went a hard left turn, maybe hard left turn.
Yeah, I mean, if we were given the opportunity and the goal to do that,
right?
You only get one chance.
So let me ask you, Papa Jack, was that and I don't know the history here. I'm really not sure of this. Was that like a disagreement in the band? Did some people want to go? Some people didn't?
It was without going into.
Sure, we don't want to.
Because like I said, I love all those guys.
Right.
I love Dave and Cam and and Ion Kip, all those guys.
See, not only knew Kip, but I always like Kip. He showed me a lot of shit back in the day. Kip would pull me to the side and show me stuff.
We went through a lot, and Warriors, that pretty much with that. But it was basically, how do I put this? Two people, maybe one did not want to, and decided that we need a singer, and it really happened with outside influences.
You'll have that, brother.
I don't necessarily think it was actually them. It was outside influences. Hey, you guys, before you get this thing, you guys need a singer. Fuck you. We were fine with what we had.
You got to this point.
We had Ultra Dave on vocals. That was fine because it was unique.
I like those vocals, man. It is different. It was different. But it's metal. And it's metal as fuck.
That's what the people wanted.
That's what got you to that place, brother.
That's what got us there. Yeah. And it changed. And it turned into, okay, we got to get a singer. So that changed. We ended up doing a lot of other things, and we went and failed to meet that goal of what we had in the first place, and then it turned into us pretty much becoming a cover band.
Yeah, and that's not the best destination in my opinion.
Yeah. And then not too long after that, that was the faded of the Ion Britton.
Pretty much.
That's, Now we did get together for a reunion show.
I was going to say, I know you guys have done at least one reunion show.
We did do back in 2009. We did at the Lincoln House there a reunion show,
right?
And we still did a few covers,
right? Well,
and I wanted it kind of to be all original, but it was mostly original. But we did, and I guess we did the covers just to pay tribute to what we learned when we were kids, like Iron Maiden and stuff like that, Judas Priest, and what we learned to play when we were kids, because when you were a kid, you starting out, that's how you learn.
You learn by listening to the stuff you liked and trying to play along.
Yeah,
exactly.
And I don't have anything against really cover bands, tribute bands. There's some really great ones out there.
Yeah, absolutely, dude.
But
they can make good money too.
That's one of the things and that's why I haven't done anything as far as live, because I got tired of being in the cover band.
I
got tired of doing that. I want to be something original. I want to write my own stuff. I want to create.
See, I think, Mike, me and you're on the same page, because I play bass, I dabble. I've never been in a lot of bands. I'm mostly just jamming, but I've had opportunities to play covers and stuff like that, and I know a few covers here and there. But I'm kind of like with you. That's not why I do it. Like, I'd rather just not go through, because man, it's a lot to do in a band. I mean, you got rehearsals, you got to get along with everybody, you got to all get on the same page, and that can be a pain in the ass.
Right.
And if you're not getting that creativity out, if you're not getting that outlet, then why? Because I hate to say this, and this is, and I, like you were just saying, man, there's some great cover bands out there, some talented, great musicians out there. But to me, it's like, if I want to listen to that, let's just say a Motley Crue song.
Yeah.
I'll just listen to fucking Motley Crue, or I'll go put it on the jukebox. Yeah, that's kind of how I look at it. When I go watch a band, I want to hear some shit. Actually, I don't, but I'd love it. God, I wish I did, brother.
Asshole, you got a jukebox?
No, it's like, not here in the PUDcave.
I'd love to have a jukebox.
No, I'd love a fucking jukebox.
Yeah.
But, guys, there was a lot of other bands, too, coming up back in the day. Another band that you were in, Mike, Sherrill, was Cry No More.
Oh, yeah.
Dude, that was when I first met you. Yeah.
Now, let me ask you, what happened after Ion Britton?
After Ion Britton, pretty much went separate ways.
All right.
Then we turned into a three-piece, To Be Unknown.
To Be Unknown. I remember that.
Yep. Robbie Buff.
Yep.
Myself and Dave, Ultra Dave.
Yep.
That was a kick-ass band.
I thought so. I thought it was and it was original.
Yes.
We actually did a demo at J. Howard Studios. I think Robbie dug up that and put a couple of on his Facebook.
Oh,
I
cool.
hadn't seen that.
Yeah,
No, I haven't.
it was
either.
really
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah, I'd like to check that out.
Yeah,
for
and,
sure.
yeah, he's got the tape. I don't know. I thought I had the tape, and I've looked for it. Can't find it because I had a copy too. But hopefully, I'll get a hold of that one day. But yeah, that was a fun band. That was a fun time at that time because it was like, it kind of helped as far as with Ion Britton, with what we all went through.
Right.
All of us, we went through, and it wasn't solely anybody's deal. It was just as well as on my part as it was everybody else's.
And I don't know if people out there realize that when a band breaks up, I mean, it's like it's a relationship. It's like losing a girlfriend. I mean, it really can be hard.
Well, it's not that much.
I think you might be putting a little too much.
Maybe I'm a little bit.
Yeah,
maybe I'm a little bit too
yeah.
much into the band.
Yeah.
But no, but you do have a breaking up of a relationship.
You're
Right.
you're true. That's very true. But yeah, but that was like I said, that was a great time for me. That was a kind of a turning point personally for me, is because after all was said and done with the Britton camp, that failed and that turned into kind of a mess.
Right.
And then it was like, this was kind of a redemption. This was like, okay, it was three-piece because I've always loved being in a three-piece band.
Because you're a big Rush fan.
Yeah. And we were cranking right along.
Robbie is too.
Stuff.
I know.
Yeah.
Robbie's
Yeah,
huge.
because definitely Red Barchetta.
Yeah.
Red Barchetta, and we were doing really great, and that didn't last too long. It lasted a while, and then I went on to I saw this ad for these guys in Hickory, and it's Crown and More you're talking about.
Yes, sir. Yep.
And I went and auditioned for them because I was like at a point now to where I want to go play. I want to do something. Maybe I'll hook up some people out of town.
Yeah.
See how that works.
Yeah.
Which all the experience was good. Yeah. Everybody, but I was wanting a little something different.
Right. Spread your wings.
Yeah, spread your wings to Hickory.
Hey, bro, you're going way out there, brother. I think we're going north. We're going north.
Going north. I've always wanted to go to Canada.
Yeah. First stop is Hickory.
Yeah, first stop is Hickory. Yeah.
There you go.
Hey, Target's right over there.
It's right there.
Best Buy.
It's right there, man.
Yeah.
I go to Best Buy all the time, man. I love it. And every journey starts with one step, brother.
That's right.
And there it is.
That's right.
But I'll never forget, man. That was when I first really got to know you. Because, man, I was so into Crown and More was a great band.
Oh, man, it was magical.
You guys
we
had a great vibe.
It was something about it, man. It was like, it was like just, it just flowed. I mean, it was like, it was just one of those things where just everything come together.
It's like lightning in a bottle.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it was like all original, and you somehow you remember your parts every time.
Yeah.
And it was very, very, very different. It was changes here and there all over the place. It was this is sound here, this part here, but it's going into something totally different in the middle.
It was a lot of groove.
Groove. It was very groove oriented, bro.
And it was like we just fucking clicked.
Yeah, man, because you guys still had that metal feel, but there was also that up and coming genre of grunge and alternative music.
Right, yeah.
And you guys had just enough of that to be relevant and popular, but you were still holding on to that metal and that groove part.
Yeah, we wanted to capture that too. We just, there wasn't really, it just come out.
Yeah.
And it was like,
dude, I've watched you guys write songs in real time, man. I'm 16, and you guys are just you're tuning up, and fucking an hour later, you have a jamming fucking song.
Yeah, that's how we wrote.
Yeah. That song didn't exist an hour ago.
No.
Now it's damn near complete.
Yeah.
And I'm just over here in awe, like, Jesus, man.
You were hanging with us back then.
Yeah, I was the roadie, man.
Now, Mike, I've known Mike way before that.
Right.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to remember where I actually. It's been a long time, brother.
I know. I got it.
Yeah. Now I know you played. I know you played drums for Frank's band.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
there.
And even before that.
Yeah.
And oh, by the way, Frank tells me to tell you guys hello.
Yeah.
Hey, Frank.
Yeah.
Frank's in the house. Frank
Yeah.
Taylor.
Yeah.
Love Frank, man. We
Yeah.
need to get him on here one day,
Frank,
brother.
You know
Frank's
what?
livecast.
We
Yeah,
might.
hey, let's put it over.
We
Yeah.
might. Can you just make that happen?
We need to,
Yeah.
man. I would love to get
Yeah.
Frank on here,
Yeah.
man. I miss Frank.
Yeah.
We might not agree on everything. Let's put it
Yeah.
like that. But man, I tell you what, you can't find a better guy, man.
No,
Frank, let's
Frank,
just put.
yeah.
That's
Let's
right,
have a
yeah.
moment for
Well,
Frank.
last
Taylor,
time, the
brother.
last time I saw him was Christmas.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
Christmas,
It was
yeah.
last year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I knew.
He
Yeah, it's
always
been a
comes
while.
through.
Yeah.
Can't stay long, you know.
Right. Yeah.
I know
Because
he's
he's got so
moving.
many people to visit. But yeah,
And a great vocalist.
yeah.
Oh,
yeah,
God,
man.
man.
Yeah.
Frank is such a good vocalist. Great vocalist.
Yeah,
man.
he
Jesus,
is.
man.
But yeah.
Yeah, I can't remember. It's like I remember Mike,
Well,
and I don't remember what.
it
Do you remember any of the practice rooms that you guys played at downtown?
I remember.
I
that.
remember now.
Yeah.
It was upstairs.
Upstairs.
Over
Over
Court Street.
Court Street.
Court Street,
Yeah.
above
Yeah,
Court
yeah.
Street Grill.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I want to say that was it.
That's where I met
That was the
you.
first
That
time.
was years
Yeah.
ago. Yeah.
That was a fun
I'll
place to
never
be,
forget
brother.
that place. Going upstairs, you had to go upstairs, and there were
Yep.
just sacks. What the hell was that? Seeds?
Yeah,
Yeah,
because we
you
set them like
just-
beanbags.
Yeah. And they were
Yeah,
like
yeah.
huge, like
Yeah.
50-pound,
And it smelled like a
sacks.
barn.
Yeah.
It did.
It smelled like a barn.
I can't remember what they had in those.
And you know the other old place
Pot
where
seeds.
Ion Britton used to practice, we used to practice. Remember old Farrell Gilbert's pawn shop that used to be downstairs?
Boca City?
No, right over here, man.
I don't remember the
Yeah, all right,
downstairs.
you know
on
where
that.
City Lunch is?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, right across that building there.
Yeah.
Right.
If you go upstairs, that place is haunted, brother.
Oh, nice.
First in fright.
It is
There
haunted.
you go.
Yeah,
First
there
in
you
fright.
guys want
Yeah.
heads up.
Yeah.
Because we would be up there practicing, man, and I swear to God, you'd hear somebody coming up the steps. And you go look, and we knew the door was locked, and there was nobody
Oh,
there.
fuck
And
that.
you hear the fucking steps, man.
Oh, fuck that, man. I'd be
yeah,
jumping
what?
up
You
with
need
it.
to get on that. You need to get on
Okay.
that.
We need to hit them
man.
guys up
Yeah.
and let them know about
Yeah,
that.
Yeah.
we heard all kind of crazy stuff in that place, man.
Didn't Biff Stiff used to practice up there too?
They used to practice
Yeah,
up
yeah,
there, too,
man.
yeah.
Another old school
Biff
local
Stiff,
band, man.
yeah,
Biff Stiff
man.
was the
Yeah.
shit,
There
bro.
were a lot of them, man.
Yeah, man. Exclaim. You remember Exclaim,
Exclaim,
dude?
I remember
Robbie
Exclaim,
Norris and
yep,
John Muskowski,
yep,
man.
Bobby,
Oh,
yep.
Bobby, he was
Bobby.
in there, man. The bass player Travis was
Travis.
the later.
Travis, yeah,
Travis
yeah.
was cool as shit, man.
Yeah, yeah.
I had a lot of the local bass players, like Ron. He would show me some stuff. Kip would show me stuff, but Travis, I always got to put Travis over a lot because he would pull me in the back and like, here's some scales, bro, and just really show me because I was like, man, I will lug all your shit around. I want a fucking bass lesson. That's
Right,
you know, and he would,
right,
man.
yeah.
You know, Ron would show me in between beers.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Let
But Travis would sit me down. And,
Travis
and-
was good, man.
Good guy,
He really
man.
good,
Great
man.
guy.
Okay, let me tell you the story. This is when me and Jerry
Yeah, Jerry
were,
Bedeau.
were in Frank's band.
Another good bass player,
Yeah.
great bass
Yeah,
player.
and Travis and Bobby. We always got in trouble for. we always were in situations.
Y'all was mischievous, man.
We were always in situations. Okay, this was like just right after Apple Festival. We had met up with these girls, and we went back to their place that night, just hanging out. Drinking. I think Bobby had his wife with him. And it was just me and Jerry and Travis talking to these girls. All of a sudden, these guys pull up in this pickup truck.
Oh shit! You know that ain't
Yeah.
good.
And I'm laying down on a blanket with this one girl. I won't say her name.
Right? Would we know her?
Maybe. That's neither here nor there right
Got you.
now. And they just pull up and we think nothing of it, really. And Travis is talking to this one girl over by the truck, another truck, Jerry's truck.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Just they're sitting there on the back tailgate. And all of a sudden these guys come up and just out of nowhere this guy punches Travis in the
Oh
mouth.
shit, dude!
I was like, what the fuck's going on here?
Oh fuck!
Yeah.
These are their boyfriends
Oh, man.
that come in.
God
So
damn it.
all hell breaks loose.
or more like.
Yeah. Oh my God. Oh, hell breaks loose, and we're like, what the fuck? What the fuck is wrong with you guys? It's like, fuck you guys. We're going to get our guns right now.
Oh shit, man.
Okay. So they hop a couple houses down.
Oh, so they in the neighborhood.
Yo, they in the neighborhood.
Oh, okay.
And we're like, okay, well, guys, let's get out of here.
Yeah, see
because
ya.
we're all on Jerry's truck.
Right.
Okay.
I bet you motherfuckers piled
And it
on,
was
bro.
a small truck, and we were all just,
Tripping over each other.
yeah, dude. And we were we booked it out of there as fast as we could, and we're just looking behind us the whole time. It's like, these guys got shotguns. They're just coming after us.
You gonna get me,
we're
bro?
Dead.
It's gonna be in the ass or the elbow because I'm
We're
getting the
dead.
fuck
We're
out.
dead.
Well, how was Travis, man? I
He
mean,
was fine.
He just took a punch.
Took a punch in the mouth, dude. I mean,
And damn, man, it's like good times, brother.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
But I tell you, man, that Travis guy, he was cool as shit because he was a
He was
hippie,
great.
man. He
Yeah.
was such a
he was
hippie.
a good guy, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, and he was good. I mean, well, all y'all were great, man.
Yeah.
Well, it was a scene, wasn't it?
It really was.
I
Man.
mean, we had the bands that we mentioned today
like
here
like I say,
years ago.
Flame, Biff Stiff,
Yeah.
Cry No More, To Be Unknown,
Yeah.
Project Blue.
Yeah.
You remember Project Blue,
Project
man?
Blue.
That was a great group.
The Splinters.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
Dead Daisies.
Dead Daisies.
The Dead Daisies
Yeah,
were the
Devin.
shit,
Yeah,
man.
yeah.
I mean, Devin, man, fucking Shawn.
Yeah.
I mean, dude.
John,
obviously, we were talking about
yeah.
the Queen City Rejects earlier,
Yeah.
man.
I
Johnny
went-
Dick was
I
there,
went-
bro.
I went to the Dead Daisies later. That was around the end of the Dead Daisies.
Well, wasn't there a-
Jeff left?
Oh, after Lamont.
Yeah.
God, I haven't thought about that guy in forever,
Wow.
brother. He was a good guy. Everybody, Lamont, man.
Lamont,
he was
man.
a trip, man. We had some good times.
You know what?
We
Yeah.
did have some good times.
I got so caught up into calling him Lamont, I actually forget this motherfucker's real name.
It was Jeff.
Can we say?
Jeff.
I don't want to say his
Yeah,
last
yeah, okay,
name.
No, I don't say
yeah,
but his
yeah,
first name was Jeff.
we know Lamont.
Lamont.
Right.
I thought that was his real name for
Yeah,
months.
everybody did,
For- hey,
man.
I mean, that's how he's introduced.
Yeah.
Hey, this is
Yeah.
Lamont. Hey, what's up, Lamont? You know, Jason. And about 3-4 months later, hey man, my name's Jeff. And I'm like, no, it's not. It's Lamont.
It's Lamont.
No, man, that's what they tell me.
Did you ever hear the story? And Jason Woods was another one.
Jason Woods. We got to bring up Jason Woods,
yeah,
brother.
Jason
Yes, man.
He told me the story about the time that him, Jeff, and John Dick,
Yeah.
were rehearsing, playing at somebody's house. I can't remember whose house. It may have been Jeff's. For whatever reason, Jeff got out with a shotgun,
Oh shit.
and it accidentally went off.
Oh, that was Lamont.
And Jason, and it scared Jason.
Well, fuck yeah.
And he wound up tripping, running away from it, and going headfirst into the toilet,
Oh shit.
knocking himself out.
The Band-Aids, brother. I'm
Dude,
telling you,
I'm
man.
telling
There was
you,
nothing like them,
No,
man.
that's right.
No, there was not.
No,
It was a great time,
ongoing,
It was such a good time.
ongoing, just total,
Yeah.
total.
Just anarchy, brother. It was chaos.
It
It was
was.
chaos. And man, being a 16, 17-year-old kid, learning to play, looking up to you guys, being a part of that.
Yeah.
Dude, I look back in my life, man, and that was such a formative time, man. That was
Yeah.
such an important, great, just wonderful time, man. I mean, I learned a lot, not only
Yeah.
about music and how to play, but just about fucking partying, man. I mean, we would party like hell, dude, and we would just raise hell and get into shit,
Yeah,
man.
yeah.
And it was just, like I said, you can't put over enough of just how wonderful that time was, man.
Yeah.
And like I said, dude, just being around these great musicians and these great shows and
Oh,
everything.
dude.
I remember a show you guys did with the Dead Daisies. It was at the National Guard Armory.
Yeah.
Armory,
Yeah.
yeah.
Dude, that was a hell of a night.
They
man.
did a great job that
Yeah,
night,
they did.
too. They did. They were on it,
I
man.
can't,
brother, yes.
I can't think of. I can't listen to REM without thinking about Devin.
About them.
Yeah, all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All the time.
Yeah.
Do that and then the guy to DeVita. I remember they fucking nailed that one.
Yes,
brother.
they did.
That was
They
the
did.
shit.
Yeah.
And then you guys came out, and if I am not mistaken, I think that was the last rock and roll show that the Armory ever put on. I think you guys shut them the fuck down.
It was a fun.
Hey man, we extended the stage.
Yeah, man, yeah.
We extended the stage. We borrowed my dad's big farm trailer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we brought that motherfucker in.
And through
in
the
back
roll-ups.
doors, hooked it up to the other stage,
Yeah.
and we had a fucking hell of a
It
stage.
damn near
Yeah.
looked like a stadium set
Yeah,
up,
right.
because it was bigger than a club.
Yeah.
I mean, it was definitely
Yeah.
bigger than a club stage, man.
But the
And-
sound in the Armory's always.
Yeah.
It's tough. It's
was
tough.
rough, man.
Now, do you remember Rockets?
Rockies.
No, Rockets.
Rockets. Was that in Lincolnton?
Lincolnton.
I do remember that, man. Yeah.
Rockets.
Rockets.
Where was it? Where was it?
That was over at the old Sky City.
Yep. Yeah,
man. Now that you
Where the
mention
gym's
it,
at and
yeah.
everything
Yeah.
now. Yes.
Yeah.
No, it was on down. Oh, wait a second. Am I
I
thinking
thought it
about
was
that?
on the edge.
No, okay, never mind. Where the old, where the Dollar Tree is now. Dollar Tree, Dollar General.
I thought it was.
Okay, that was Rockets was. No, fuck
But
no.
I remember.
No,
Rocket-
Aunt Betsy's.
It was Aunt Bessie's.
Aunt Betsy's,
It was
thank you.
Aunt Bessie's.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was.
Yeah.
Yep. Short lived.
Yeah.
Very fucking short lived.
Yeah.
But yeah, I went there
Who
one
ran?
time.
Was it Kendall Davis and Ricky Tackett?
Yeah.
Dude, we got. How
Yeah.
did we not even
Yeah,
bring
well,
those
we-
guys?
yeah.
up,
Right,
man.
yeah.
We got to
Yeah.
bring those guys up. First Defense.
I had played
Yep.
with Ricky a long while back.
Dude, Rick to this day,
Yeah.
man. Me and Rick don't talk like we used to, but I love Rick Tackett to
Yeah.
death, man.
Yeah,
he is a
you-
friend. He is a good friend. Yeah.
What was it? A game room? They had a game room
Yeah.
over there where right near our house. Right there, Burger City.
Yeah, was it where the Family Dollar and shit is now?
Yeah,
I know what you're talking about.
And of course, you remember. Now
Yeah.
they had bands there.
Yep.
Now, you guys, I'm gonna bring it up. You remember? I don't know you. I'm a little older than you guys, though. Do you remember the two game rooms that we had? Wiley's game room up there in town, and then we had one, the big game room with the Chrysler dealership is now.
That was Fingers.
Yeah,
John Finger on that.
yeah.
I remember it, but I remember I
This-
wanted to go because I was too young.
This
Yeah.
was 1980, 82.
Yes,
Yeah.
I was too young. My
Yeah.
brother
Yeah.
used to go there.
Yeah.
I used to slay some Galaga. up
No
there,
shit.
Oh, yeah.
yeah, yeah.
I never got to go. I was always too young. In fact, I
Yeah.
couldn't wait to get older to go. Then they had already
Yeah.
shut
Then
down.
they shut it down.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
crash.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
the crash
The
that
arcade
happened.
crash,
Yeah.
yeah.
There's nothing. They get rid of every fucking thing.
I know.
That people would want to do.
Yeah.
Want
But-
to go to.
But I will say this for Lincoln. I think we are starting to see a little bit of an upward trend.
Oh, yeah.
now.
Yeah.
You know,
You
since
start-
the
Yeah, if you're starting to see more.
brewery,
Yeah,
you know, and
you start to
businesses.
see a lot more things for people to do a little bit
You just got to
better.
get them out there and keep them out there.
Yeah.
Yep.
You know, that's the thing.
And,
That's
and
right.
you'll still see like acoustic shows going on. You know, every once in a while
Yeah.
you'll still see some stuff. But as far as like bands,
Right.
you know, guys, I'll be honest with you. I don't know if we'll ever see days like that again, man. Just with the current music situation being what it is in general.
I mean, we
You
talked
know.
about it earlier. It's like you could probably count on three fingers, four fingers. The bands that are local now here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Back
Yeah.
then,
Dude, I mean, like, well, hell, we just came up with a bunch, and,
Yeah.
and I know we were
And there's a
forgetting
lot
people.
more
Oh,
that
yeah,
we're
for
Oh,
sure.
absolutely,
For sure.
Yeah.
Absolutely, because like I said, you know, we didn't even bring up Kendall and Rick, you know, because those guys are still doing Papa Mojo.
yeah.
I think they're taking a hiatus right now, but I talked to Kendall not long ago, and you know, he's having some stuff he's got to deal with and everything. But they're going to try to get recording and get Papa, Papa Mojo going again.
Yeah.
which is a
Right.
great band. You know,
Yeah.
those guys are
Yeah.
phenomenal, man, phenomenal.
Oh yeah,
Y'all remember First Defense?
I sure
Oh,
do.
Yeah, dude, they actually had a song on the radio there
I
for a little
remember that,
while.
yeah.
95.7,
Yeah.
dude. They were the shit,
Yeah.
man.
They were, man. I remember them.
Actually, one of my first bands, we practiced beside them because we were over, Maurice Moore's Karate Studio.
yeah,
Down that little back alley upstairs.
Upstairs.
Yep.
With Quincy and Steve.
Yes, dude, that was
Yeah.
the band.
Yep.
And
Sure
and
enough.
First Defense would practice right beside us. Now, brother, let me ask y'all a question. who do you think the girls were going to? Brother, I mean, these guys are who are jamming. They got a radio hit.
Yeah.
They got hottie.
Yeah.
Dude,
Oh, yeah.
man. I love practicing beside them, but, man, we're over here struggling through smoke
yeah.
on the water. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And they're over here slaying crazy
Yeah.
train and
All
shit,
right.
you know? It's
Yep.
like, oh, my God. I want to be like those guys.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'll tell you a little funny story. Very first time, and this developed in Ion Britton. You talked about Ion Britton, so this was we were, and it's the same member, same lineup, but we had Al on vocals. Al sang for us. It was Dave. It was Oyster Dave on guitar, Cam on guitar, Kip on bass, me on drums, and Al on vocals. We were calling ourselves Slayer. We didn't know we did not know there was a Slayer.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
We did not know there was a Slayer until after this gig. Somebody, hey, you know, there's another band called Slayer, and they got albums out. we didn't know that.
It would have
Right.
been funny if you had, like,
Yeah.
10,000 people show up or something.
Yeah.
You know,
Oh.
shit. Slayer's playing in Cadillacs?
Yeah.
Whoa.
Then our very first gig was at it used to be Pterodactyl. What was
The
it back
Pterodactyl
then?
Club, man.
It was
1313?
J. Michaels.
J. Michaels.
That's when it was J. Michaels.
remember
Same
that.
place.
Right.
J. Michaels. And how we got that gig is, you remember Lizzie Borden?
Oh, yes, I do, actually.
Cass and him.
Yeah.
That Lizzie Borden, because
Right.
there's another Lizzie
Yeah,
Borden.
right.
Yeah, but they had us open for them, and when they did a show there, who was it? I think it was E.T. on drums, Eric Taylor on drums.
Okay,
for them at that time.
Because they were a pretty big band
They
around
were,
here, man. They
yeah.
were really big.
And we
yeah.
got to open up for them. That was our very first gig ever.
Dude,
that
that's
we did.
awesome.
And we opened up for them. And it was like, the stage was like way up. I mean, it was like way up. It was like small, but it was way up. And
But don't fall off that motherfucker.
yeah, don't fall off. Yeah. But I just was remembering that. It was my first ever gig with Ion Britton, and that would have been it.
You know, I think
Wow.
my first club show ever, believe it or not, that I ever went to a rock and roll club, got to see a band, was Roading for You Guys and Cry No More.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, it really was.
Yeah.
I can't remember the club, but it was up toward the mountains, on the other side of Hickory, if I'm not mistaken. I couldn't, dude. It was a decent sized place. It was cool as fuck, man.
Trying to think.
I just remember being.
We've been so many places,
I know.
man.
Yeah.
But yeah.
That was my first time ever being in a club, and I mean, brother, I think I was about 17 at that time, give or take. And dude, I mean, it was just magical. I mean, like I said, seeing just these bands, because you guys were opening for somebody. Seducer.
That's what
Seducer,
wow.
man.
Yeah,
Yeah,
there's another band.
Yeah, dude,
Yeah.
that was another one, man.
Mr. Trip
Yeah,
McNeil.
yeah, man. And
yeah.
dude, they were the shit,
They
brother,
were,
man.
You talk about
They
changes.
Fuck.
They had some changes
Yeah.
in metal. It was like, and they've had a bunch of albums
Yeah,
out,
I was
too.
going to say, they put some shit out, man.
Yeah,
But that was
yeah.
my first show, just a club anytime.
Yeah.
And that was just badass, man. Actually, yeah, that was before the Molly Hatchet show. Because I know you were playing some in Crown and More and the Thundercats.
Yeah, I
too.
was at
okay,
the beginning. Yes, I
Because I may
was,
be
yeah,
getting those
yeah.
a little mixed up. But
I was doing both.
a little bit of both, yeah. But dude, that was
Wow.
amazing. Like I said, just that scene,
Yeah,
just-
I mean, it was a lot different.
it really
It
was.
different, and and I'm sure that there's some guys that we don't know about that's in the basement somewhere right now.
Right, could be- yeah.
You know
that's
exactly.
brother.
doing
That's
something,
right.
Doing
yeah.
some good shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, they're out there.
I know. I
hope
never
they're
hear.
out there.
Yeah,
I never hear any noises from the upstairs anymore.
Yeah.
It used to be at one time.
Oh,
you could walk down the
dude.
street, especially cruising.
Yes, you turn your radio down to hear the local bands practicing.
Yeah,
man.
that's
And
how it was.
It really
Running.
was, and that was
Running.
magical, brother. Once
Yep.
again, like I said, it was a scene. It really was. Because, like I said, I always think about Ion Britton. I think about Biff Stiff.
Yeah.
Exclaim is another one I roadied for a little
Yeah.
bit.
Yeah.
With Robbie Norris, John Muskowski. I know we brought
Uh-huh.
them guys up a little earlier, man. That was another band that I just thought was
And you
phenomenal,
remember-
man.
What was after Exclaim?
Well, me and John had a band briefly. We
Uh-huh.
didn't really gig out or anything, and I'm not sure, brother. I don't know. I think everybody kind of went and started doing some. I know Robbie got a Judas Priest band now, man.
Yeah,
They're jamming, you know,
Unleashed,
they're
yeah,
Unleashed,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
John, I think John's still playing in some bands, but I haven't really followed, bro.
You remember?
Right.
You remember Maddox?
Maddox,
Yeah.
yeah.
There's another band.
Holy
Yeah,
shit,
they
dude.
were good.
They were
Good.
fucking awesome, man.
Yeah.
That band.
Maddox, Jeff Maddox.
Jeff Maddox,
Yeah.
good.
But they call it like Maddox.
Well, with the X's and shit, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude.
Sure
I
did. I
forgot
almost
about
forgot. Yeah.
them.
Yeah.
It was
sure
fucking
shit.
great. And like I said, there seems like there was another Project Blue. I think I brought them up a
Project
little.
Blue, yeah.
That was
Yeah.
another one I
Yeah.
thought was fucking
Yeah.
phenomenal. Man, there was some great bands around here.
Yeah, they were.
There really
They
was.
were. Remember
man.
the Century Theater used to have bands. The old Century
Really?
Theater
See, that's a
downtown.
little before my time with that.
It didn't last long.
Right.
And I saw Peralta open up for Nantucket there.
Wow.
Oh, that would have been awesome.
And
man.
Rob,
I didn't even know it was like
Robbie
that.
was on bass for Peralta.
Dude,
Yeah,
nice.
and I got to see Peralta open up for Nantucket. It was badass.
That's
Wow.
pretty
Yeah.
cool. I didn't even know that the theater did that. I didn't know that we had bands
So
in
I was
Lincoln
young
like that.
then
Yeah.
too. I was
Yeah.
young, man. I
Right.
was like, that was like, man, Nantucket here, downtown Lincoln.
That's what I'm
really?
saying.
Exactly.
I would have never
Yeah.
even
Yeah.
known
Yeah.
that a band
Yeah.
that was on a label would
Yeah.
tour to Lincolnton.
Right.
I had no. This is the first time I'm hearing that,
But you
brother.
was
That's
young.
mind
We were
blowing.
young like that, and it's like, oh fuck yeah, I'm there.
Yeah,
man.
Right.
Yeah,
absolutely. I didn't even know that happened.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, guys, I tell y'all what, we are starting to get toward the end here. We're starting to get a little long in the show. Mike, brother, we have really enjoyed. I figure we can end the show with the next two songs off the Eat Metal album.
You want to do that and come back, or?
Let's go ahead and do that, man. Let's
Yeah,
do
yeah,
another,
man.
another
Let's
double
do a
shot,
double
man.
shot and
let's
come back.
Yeah, man. And
That'll
we'll
work.
finish it out, man. And Mike, what do we got coming up next, brother? We got Mind Grind coming up, and the final song. I can't read it, man. And
You
I
can
don't
look behind you and see
Oh
the.
fuck, man! I gotta turn my back here.
He's got a monitor
no,
right
man.
there. He's not even looking
Oh
at
my
it.
god! Nite Frite. I got
Right.
cables and shit all around me, man. That was hard to see.
Doesn't have his binoculars on.
I don't have my bifocals.
Yeah.
Hey, I just want to say, man, before you go into this, you guys haven't changed a fucking bit. You guys
Nah,
are still
brother.
the same.
And we're gonna keep it like that, brother. That's the only way to be.
Same here, brother.
Jason
I was gonna
just
say
can't
same
st-
here,
Yeah,
man.
man.
Jason just can't stay out past 8 o'clock.
No, that's the difference.
Yeah.
now. Yeah. It's like, 8:30. Oh, fuck that, man. No.
Break out his robes.
Show starts at 9.
9 o'clock. Goddamn, what
Pshaw.
is this?
Pshaw.
The fuck, man? Is that Axl Rose coming on? What the fuck, man? All right, guys. Like I said, don't go nowhere. We're gonna finish out the classic metal album, Eat Metal by Ion Britton, and we're gonna play Mind Grind and Nite Frite. Don't go anywhere. We're gonna be right back.
Into your home, my
right, Puds, we're back once again. That was the classic Ion Britton. The name of those tracks was Mind Grind and Nite Frite. You heard the EP here on the PUDcast. Papa Jack, that is so awesome that we got to do that. Thank you for letting us do this, brother.
My pleasure, man. My pleasure. And, you know, you guys out there, if you ever come across this album or you go and do any history about Ion Britton, you're going to see the name Mike Ioz.
Yes.
Yeah, well, they gave me that name. I don't know how.
Oh, really?
I didn't come up with it.
Really? No shit.
Somehow they gave me that name. It started out somehow as it started out somehow as Mike Taz or something, and then it turned into Mike Ioz.
No shit, man. I just always assumed that was.
For the record, Ioz is not my real last name. Send hate mail to my P.O. box.
And you can send that to us and we'll forward it on to you.
There you go. Yeah.
Well, you know, Mike, me and Papa Jack were outside talking a little bit, and he brought up an old band that I know you said that you do know who we were talking about. We were going to put it out there for the Puds. Mad Hat Clown.
Yes.
Yeah.
And that was the offshoot of Exclaim.
Right.
Yeah,
right,
that was Robbie and Bobby.
We shared the bedroom with them.
Did you really?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, fuck, that's right.
At Frank's.
That's right. Damn it, man. I forgot about that.
Sure did.
Damn enough.
Yeah.
Dude, now what was the name of y'all's band?
Nobody's Pet.
That's it.
That's
yeah,
it.
I was racking my brain out there trying to remember that, man. Yeah.
Now, that band consisted of a lot of people coming in and out.
In and out. Yeah. Let's see. It was myself, Frank Taylor, Jerry Badeau.
Right.
Remember Jerry?
And,
Jerry's a good guy,
Jerry,
man.
At one
Great
time
guy.
or another, we had a couple of early guitarists that their names escape me for right now.
Didn't Jason?
Unfortunately. Jason played a little bit.
Okay.
I think it was about one day.
Okay.
Yeah. Then Michael Lane.
Michael Shane Lane,
Yeah.
brother. Another great friend, too,
Yeah.
man. A great friend, yeah.
Brad Sigmund.
Yes.
Yeah, Brad.
Yeah,
Brad.
Me and Brad jammed a lot back in the day.
Brad, man.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And Daniel Terry.
Yeah.
Daniel,
man.
yeah.
Oh, that's right, dude.
Daniel.
He did. Yeah.
Sure did.
Daniel
And Jimmy. Gosh, what was Jimmy's last name? Elude me. He was a keyboard player for us for a little while.
A great fucking keyboard
Yes, he
player.
was.
We
He was
actually
incredible.
took classes at Gaston together. I know exactly. He had curly hair.
Yes.
This guy was a phenomenal
He
keyboardist,
was.
bro.
Wow.
He was
so
next level.
reserved.
Yeah.
You know, he was so laid back, so reserved.
Yes, real quiet.
Gosh, I can't remember his last name right.
But
Ralph Hand.
Jesus, was he
Yeah.
talented, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. Everybody wanted him in the
Oh,
band.
yeah,
I remember
for
that. I
sure.
remember like, hey, we got to get this
My
guy.
God.
You know?
He could play anything.
And I know we brought up Daniel Terry a little
Yeah.
bit ago, man. That was another guy that was
Yep.
around, and he was actually in the Millennium Wrestling Federation too. It was another one of those
right,
little
yeah,
band
yeah.
crossovers, you
Yeah.
know.
Speaking of crossovers with like the Dead Daisies, and Dead Daisies would eventually become the Fat Tortoise Butcher.
Fat Tortoise Butcher, bro.
Right, yeah,
FTV, man.
Fat Tortoise
yeah,
Butcher, yeah.
man. They were huge, man.
Oh, yeah.
Figuratively and literally.
Yeah, right.
You know,
Yeah.
great band, though,
Yeah.
man. I actually got a little story about Fat Tortoise Butcher. Back in the day, I'd bought this huge cabinet, man, bass speaker cabinet. It had two 15s in it. It was ridiculous. I mean, you couldn't carry it, man. I mean, you know, it made gigging a fucking bitch,
Well,
man.
that's what was usually going around at that time.
Yeah, I knew. I mean, it was just a monster of it. So I got rid of it and I sold it somewhere in Shelby. Anyway, there was this guy named Flounder. He was a bass player that was friends with my keyboard player, Chris Pageant, and one of the best friends I've ever had, Murdoch Morrison, God rest his soul, passed away several years ago. But Flounder was a great guy, and he was in those circles. And like I say, he was in Shelby, kind of their scene. Well, anyway, in fact, I ended up selling it to him. That's what I was trying to get to. I sold that bass cabinet to him. Well, anyway, one day in Lincolnton, I took a back road or something. I was just out probably burning one or something. Usually when I go down the back roads of the neighborhood, you know, I had my little route. And I looked out of the corner of my eye, and I saw that speaker cabinet because it was kind of a custom deal, you know.
Yeah.
And I was like, what the fuck? And it was Flounder who was playing for Fat Tortoise Butcher.
Wow.
He actually got the gig as the bass player. So I turned
That's
around and I'm like, no
crazy.
shit.
Yeah.
Because we knew each other from Shelby.
Yeah.
And then he's playing with the guys in Lincolnton. And I saw that cabinet. I'm like, hey, that's my old cabinet.
Yeah.
Oh, shit, that's
Crazy.
Flounder. But yeah, that was pretty cool, man.
Wow.
And, But yeah, those guys were awesome, man. You remember the FTB on Monday Nitro?
Yes, sir.
On Pro Wrestling, they actually had the Back Tortoise Butcher sign on Nitro and everything.
Yep.
And that was a big deal for us.
It
We're
was.
like, hey, them guys.
2-minute warning.
2-minute warning.
Do you remember?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know if that rings
Wait
a
a
bell with me,
second.
man.
Wasn't that was that a band?
Yes.
It was a band.
Yeah.
Somebody else had an album called 2-Minute Warning.
Yeah.
And I can't even remember who.
Yeah, I don't know, man. This isn't ringing a bell for me.
Really?
No.
I'm trying to think of 2-Minute Warning was an album by a solo guitar guy, and I can't remember who the solo guitar dude is.
I don't know. Who was in the band?
Right now that eludes me.
Okay. 2-minute warning,
I
dude.
should have done some
Yeah.
research on that, but the name popped up just here a little bit ago.
Wait, hold on. Did you say you should have done some research on that? Brother, do you know what show you're on?
Yeah.
Wow,
Yeah.
wow. Hell yeah.
That's what you get. When you
What is that? Research.
When
What?
you try to rely on memory.
Oh, brother, I quit even trying to rely on it. I just go with it now.
Hey, listen, I
Close
think
enough.
I think we've done very well for ourselves.
Oh,
to
fuck yeah.
To remember everything that we did remember.
Oh, absolutely, man. I give us all a big pat on the back for that one, dude.
Yeah.
Because, man, it was a very big possibility. We could have been like, dude, I don't know who was in my band.
And thank
How
God-
many were in there? And I can't remember.
I don't know. I think I was the bass player.
Yeah.
At one time, I believe I was the guitar player.
Yeah, I think I
I'm
played
not
drums on a
sure,
song.
yeah.
Well, I'm glad we've got it. Actually got it down and recorded, so we
Yes.
can actually preserve
back.
some of this history.
I think I played spoons one time. I don't know.
I had the recorder.
Yeah, it was light. It was dark. It was light. It was dark, and I just don't remember. You know?
And I'm sure there's a bunch more that
Oh, dude, you know we're missing people. I mean, we
which
are
always
missing
begs for a part
a
two.
sequel. Yeah, we're always going to. Oh, brother, we're big on sequels around here.
Yeah. That's because we have shit memory.
Exactly. Like in 3 or 4 days, we're going to be like, dude, we forgot this. And, well, let's get volume 2 going.
All right. Yeah.
Hey, guys, well, I tell you what, man. I think it's time we do start taking it to the house here, brother. Mike, Papa Jack, brother, before we go, I want you to put over your show. I want you to put over whatever you want to put over, man. Tell us a little bit about WTAU, where we can find you, what's going on. Give us some info, bro. Give us some K-Tail.
Give it a K-tail time. K-tail time. And it's a K-tail time. Yeah, man. Yeah, man.
I love it.
Yeah, man. We got to get into that one, man. Thanks, guys. I appreciate it. You can check us out. We're live most Saturday evenings from 7 to 10 p.m. Eastern Time on Spreaker.com and Vaughn Live. Vaughn.live. Whatever. And, there is live. Let's see. We have a Facebook page, W.T.A.U Pea Ridge Nation. Just add us there. It's like an ad friend type of deal. Just add us. We'll add you back. That's where you can send your submissions, bands, guys, and artists. You can send your submissions there. Private message me there. I don't have it. I will say this. I worked on forever a solo album.
Absolutely, put this over. brother. Yes.
A solo album. It's just basically a hand drumming type thing. It's got some guest artists on it too as well.
Right.
If you're interested in checking that out, you can do so at MikeSherrill.bandcamp.com. That's spelled SHERRILL, not SHURL. Sherrill.
Sherrill. Mike Sherrill.
It's Sherrill.
Spell it like it sounds. Sherrill.
Yeah. But you can check that out there, and feel free. I mean, it's up for sale too. So if you would like to buy it, it's like $7.
Yeah, I mean,
for
what-
15 tracks.
Well, I mean, what you're going to spend less. You're going to spend less on that than you are at McDonald's or Hardee's or something. And we'll put up all those links on the podcast
Sure, man.
page as
Appreciate
well,
it.
man. That way you guys can come directly to our page and link directly to you
And
guys.
with the radio show, we're going to keep doing the radio show. I have a blast doing this. it's just been something that I've always wanted to do. When I was little, I used to play like I was at a radio station. I was actually an intern at WLON.
I remember that.
Very briefly. It was like about a month.
Right. I remember you telling me about that.
Yep.
Yeah.
And we, with WLON's AM, you can't get by with playing Slayer. Or,
no Judas Priest.
No Judas Priest. Yeah, you can do Paul McCartney and Wings all you want.
Yeah, all day long.
Elton John,
Phil Collins,
Billy Joel, Phil Collins. Yeah. Wow.
And that was me that hit the button. Let me go ahead and put that out there.
Yeah,
that was me that hit that button.
And if you want to send your hate mail to
P.O. Box
Jason Finger. Yeah.
I did that shit, Phil Collins. What are you gonna do? What are you gonna do?
Fuck you, Phil Collins.
What are you gonna do?
Oh, yeah.
Feel this in the air tonight, motherfucker. Nah, we love you, Phil. We love you. I know he's listening.
Well, I tell you what. Let me go ahead and say this. This is my last piece. If you had told me at the age of 16 and 17, respectively, Jason Finger, that we would be sitting here interviewing Mike Sherrill, I would have said, "Yeah,
That's
man,
pretty
I can
cool.
see that.
Yeah, man,
I can see doing that. Yeah, absolutely. yeah, I can do that.
And brother, and here it is.
Yes, sir.
This is
There you go.
awesome, man. This has been a great show.
I've enjoyed it, man. And like I said, man, the radio show is going to keep flying on, man. We're going to keep doing this because I've been wanting to do this forever. And, you know, I just love finding music, independent music that I've never heard before.
Exactly.
And, you know, and hopefully people will dig it, and if they dig it, they'll go check it out, and they'll tell their friends at least. If you can't buy it,
share
and I know a lot of people have it's tough, man.
Hey, man,
Life's tough. You got bills, you got groceries, you got a family.
Sometimes $7 can be the difference between going over.
I can understand that, and if you don't have the money to do that, do something else. Find a way.
Share it.
Like it.
Subscribe to it.
Tell the artist you dig it.
Yeah, that's all.
Go tell them it means a lot to me, man. Your music really moves me, or whatever. Go tell these guys.
Spend 30 seconds.
Yeah, share their links.
Yes.
If you want to buy a T-shirt, buy a T-shirt.
T-shirts
man.
are fucking awesome, man. I mean, damn it, dude. I mean, that's the way I look at it. Because you're right, Papa Jack. Sometimes that $7-8. I know we talk about going to Arby's and stuff like that, but y'all, I know probably we've all been in that situation to where $7 can mean an overdraft fee.
That's right.
You know, it might be $7 you need to keep the lights on.
Right.
We've all been there.
We all have.
So if you can't do it, we get that. Or if you have to take that $7 and put it somewhere else. But my God, sharing something is free. You know, liking a page is free. You know, letting people know about it is free.
Yeah.
You know, it takes seconds, literally seconds.
Like I said too earlier, you know, guys, I really, it just tickled me the most just to see when I started seeing you guys putting out music that we play on our show. Yeah. And you get a hold of it and you play it too. That right there, that's just, you know, and when I see that kind of thing, that's when I say, okay, my job has been accomplished.
Right. Yeah.
You know, if somebody goes buys it or does and shares it, I feel like I've done a great job in presenting that. And that's what there's nothing, how do I put this? This is not about me.
Right.
It's not about me.
Right. It's a greater purpose.
It's about getting the music heard. And, you know, you can, you know, here's the thing else too, man. You can put a fucking, you know, a independent artist or band. You can share it on Facebook. You can share that shit out there. What's it gonna do? And most of the time, and this is my experience, you can share it all to hell. What happens? Fucking crickets.
Yeah.
You put a fucking corny ass joke
No shit,
or a
brother.
dumbass
A fucking meme. Yeah.
or a fucking.
Well, the memes are awesome now. I mean, come on. We love our memes now.
You do something like that, and
But still.
and everybody likes it.
Yeah, you're right.
That's right.
I didn't look at the chicken. Did you look at the chicken?
But you put a kick-ass song out.
Nobody cares.
Maybe 3 likes.
And then maybe they do, and they just don't, well, I'm not on Facebook. Well, that's fine. There's other outlets.
There's other ways to share it, man.
There's other outlets.
Hell, just tell somebody.
Yeah,
hey, man,
tell
check out this
somebody.
band. That's all you got to have.
And that's what we try to do, man. And that's what we are driving every fucking week to do, is to get these bands heard out here, because the big people, they're not gonna fucking give a fuck.
They're not gonna do it. And I've said it before on this show, I've said it in past shows, and I'm gonna say it right now. I feel in a way we're doing the Lord's work with this thing.
Yeah, man.
It definitely does feel like a higher purpose. It's like we take these songs, and obviously we only play one song a week usually. You get to play 3 hours, and you get to play the full spectrum too, brother. I love that. 3 hours, and I mean, it makes it hard on us because we're like, oh shit, what are we gonna play? It's like, I mean, it really does.
And here's something else. What I play. We do a 3-hour show, like you said. Some people are not going to dig everything I play. Nobody's going to.
No, there's some that I'm like,
Well, what I try to do is, and I will tell you a little bit of history about it now. That we started, I went back pretty much the way when I started this show, is mixing it all kind of different kind of stuff.
Which I do love that.
I did go at one time, and you guys out there listening probably know to listen to what I'm talking about. But I did go all metal at one point. It was all hardcore, thrash, growler, metal. Okay, did that. Got some listeners. But then when I went back to what I do when I started, I did this kind of thing.
Right.
When I went back to this format, I've lost some listeners.
Right.
But since we went to simulcast with Vaughn Live, I have also gained more, because it's like, okay, because this is what's cool. You play a heavy hardcore growler metal, the next thing you play in jazz.
Right.
Or you play a southern
banjo,
rock, bluegrass.
Thank you.
Banjo
music. but you do, man.
Send your hate mail to Jason for
Well, man, I got to tell you a funny story about your different genres that you play, because I usually listen to when I'm trying, I'm working out in the mornings, so I'll listen to it about 30-45 minute increments, and I know it was happening, this has actually happened a couple of times, but it happened about 2 or 3 days ago, and I'm trying to get that last set in, brother, and you're jamming on some heavy shit, and I'm almost done, and I need that energy, and you play some jazz flute. Oh boy. I was like, what the fuck? Great music, man. I mean, very great music. But oh man, it's hard to work out to some jazz flute. But it's everything,
right?
Man.
It's not. I mean, it's like, I'm gonna be playing some stuff, but some people ain't gonna dig.
Right.
And then I'm gonna be playing maybe somebody like.
But will like.
But here's you take that and you just put it all in the show and let it roll, man.
And then here's the thing, man. Let's say you were just playing metal. Yeah, granted, that might be awesome, and I might be able to get that through that last set when I'm working out instead of hitting a jazz flute. But I'm going to probably miss Superman. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to miss Cave Mouth. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to miss all this other great music.
Right.
So I like I said, Papa Jack, I love the format. I love the show. And once again, I can't put it over enough, people. If you're out there listening, check it out. I mean, really, and help spread the word to these bands.
Yeah, and like I said, be sure to tune in live. We also have chat rooms at both places. You feel free to come in and jump in and say hello.
Yeah,
hang out with us.
That sounds great.
Yep. So you guys come in and chat every once in a while. Oh, and I tell you what, man, we need to get you guys on the show.
Yeah.
Hey, we're down.
We ain't gonna do it.
Now, I can't do it after 8:30.
Now listen. Now listen. Let me tell you about these fuckers. Listen, you guys start at fucking 10 o'clock in the morning. All right, but
we start kind of late.
And then when I asked you, I had to come here to do the fucking show. I was like, "Do you have Skype?" But no, we don't have Skype. What Skype? They don't do that shit. Yeah. They're over here analog, man. And it's like, okay. Hey, so I'll tell you what, man. I'll have to get you guys set up to where you guys can just do it, because we'd crowd the house out.
Right. We may not be able to do the live appearance.
We're in the studio. Now,
But we'll figure something out.
I'll get you set up. We don't even have to use Skype. We could, like Ethereum I was telling you about.
Yeah.
We could do that. I want to get you guys on the show. That would be a fucking blast.
I would love to do that.
We'd do the music. We'd talk to just like we are here now.
I think that'd be great,
Yeah.
Mike. I would love it.
And you guys been longtime friends of mine, brothers, man. And
absolutely.
It's been a fucking blast to be here. I'm very honored to be here.
We're honored that you came, brother.
And I want to do this again.
Oh, this is definitely not going to be the last time Papa Jack is in the PUDcave.
Way cool.
Absolutely. Well, guys, once again, Papa Jack, thank you so much. Mike, brother, anything you want to end us with?
I'm good with that, man.
I think that'll do it, brother. This is a hell of a good show. Man.
Absolutely.
All right. Once again, you PUDs out there, have a good one.
And not only that, David, I understand we're right at the end of our program.
No, we have got to go.
This has been a great event.
There's some people out there that hate us for this.